the words themselves do have power. It's called spelling for a reason. When you speak, you can cast a spell.
3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome. We're back. We're here, episode 39 of Ruse Radio. We got a 39. We actually, technically, we have a returning guest. Because I don't know if you remember, but we did do that episode at Liberty Meds once, a long time ago.
Great episode.
Yeah, it exists. It's out there. But this is the official. I feel like this is where it's really at. Me and Vaughn Lambo just had probably a 2-hour-long conversation just now. It felt like even longer, but it's amazing how we do it. It's amazing how we do it. Me and Vaughn Lambo, I feel like Vaughn Lambo is one of those guys that just has a lot to say. How would you introduce yourself, Vaughn Lambo? That's how I would introduce you. A guy with a lot to say.
Well, if I was going to introduce myself, I'd probably say a man of few words.
Yeah?
But that's probably because you hadn't known me yet.
A man of few words, Vaughn Lambo. And Vaughn, how are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well, Good day, sun was shining, but it was snowing.
Oh, you know what? That's a good thing to say. Today was our first, it was very light snow, but it was our first real snow for Flint, Michigan today. Today marks the spot, I think November, is it 14th? It's somewhere around the middle of the month.
Something like that. Today's the 14th.
I'm glad I got that on my first try. Look at me go. But yeah, it's snowing outside. How do you feel about snow, Vaughn Lambo?
I like it when I don't have to drive in it.
Okay, that's a fair point. I just hate. I hated snow growing up. I've come around a little bit, but no. It's not.
If it stayed warm when it snowed, I'd be good with that because the snow would be here, but then it'd be gone.
That would be cute. That would be nice.
Not
we don't. That's not how it works. It's just cold.
Oh yeah, this is Michigan, baby.
Yeah, and I'm bracing myself. That's why I don't like it, because as soon as the snow comes, I'm bracing myself. But it's like in Game of Thrones, like winter is coming.
Winter is coming, but it's Michigan winter, so the best thing is we could still get a couple 70-degree days coming.
That's true. You know what? That is totally. I feel like a couple days ago it was like 60 degrees outside.
Yeah, it was about 65,
and it was great
and sunny all day.
Yeah.
I had to work that day. I didn't complain. Not a day.
Yeah. Hey, I actually feel like nice fall days are probably the best weather ever. That's my take on that.
Definitely.
I don't think it gets much better than that. Like a super nice fall day with a tiny little breeze. And it's just like, it's beautiful and colorful outside.
Oh yeah, that's hoodie weather.
Yeah. It's like the pros and cons. Like you know that it means it's not going to be very nice very soon. That's part of the fun. You get to
enjoy it while you can.
Yeah. And it's like beautiful. It's like life. You just look at it and you go, oh, this is going to be gone.
Sounding like a kid.
Yeah.
Losing the shimmer.
It's
going to be gone soon.
It's going to be gone one day. Man, what do we got to look forward to musically with Vaughn Lambo? That's a great. I don't think it's funny because over our 2-hour conversation we've had, we didn't say anything about either of our music.
That is very true. We haven't touched on any music.
I'd love to know.
But, man, musically, we got a lot coming.
I imagine we're loaded.
You can say that again. So, as you may or may not know, just dropped our first single from the project. It's going to be an EP coming out called Who Was King O Live. That'll be dropping this winter.
Now, when you say that, I think that's a great opportunity to truly, if we're ever going to explain King O Live to people, this is a great spot to do it, right? Because King O Live is kind of a concept one has to grapple.
Yes.
What is King O Live?
So, King O Live is the predecessor to Vaughn Lambo. It is what was, and I'm closing a chapter on it so that people will no longer even think about it anymore. You can go and reflect and enjoy it, but don't expect that to be the artist that you're gonna get.
Like the end of an era.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up well. So in essence, King O Live, that we're gonna go back. Gotta go back. We're gonna go back to like MySpace days.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, we gotta go way back to MySpace days, Skateland performances. Yeah, we're gonna take it back. So
back when MySpace was the place to be for a musician.
Right?
Definitely
the place. That's all, man. me and Sway, he wasn't even Sway at the time. We're not gonna get into that. But King O Live started off as really just O, but you know, that kind of couldn't work too well considering Omarion was O, and then, you know, he did the jacket with the crown on it, so going from O to King O wasn't really a good move either.
Yeah.
And so being King O in the early stages before I actually started taking music serious, I was like, if I'm gonna be serious about it, knowing, you know, business-minded me, I gotta make sure that if anything ever go or anything ever do anything where I'm making some money, I can't get sued by Omarion. What do I do?
Yeah.
So, business me, I took a look at the guy who was doing it, Big Draco, Soulja Boy. So, Soulja
Well, this
Boy,
is, and if the timeline in my brain is correct, this is like Crank That Soulja Boy era.
yes sir.
Okay.
So as we put this together, so Soulja Boy, if you don't know, Soulja Boy was in some legal trouble for his name.
Back then?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
For his name, Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
Because No Limit Soldiers, Master P and them. Mm-hmm. There was a guy already.
Was his name Soulja Boy?
It was, I think he went by Slim Soldier or something like that, whatever the case. But you know how Wayne has Lil Wayne, then he got Tunchi.
Yeah.
So these things are registered names.
Yeah.
So that name, Soulja Boy, was already registered in the artist community.
Oh, no.
So if you notice, if you go back and actually look at his songs say the song is from the artist Soulja Boy Tell 'Em. Have you ever noticed? Soulja Boy Tell 'Em is always the artist name.
Was that not his original name?
No, it was just Soulja Boy.
Oh, wow.
So my thing was, all he had to do was add Tell 'Em at the end, and now he's good. So I was like, well, I'm just going to put live at the end.
Okay.
Now I am King O Live.
Yeah.
Boom.
King O Live.
I cannot be sued. And the other thing was, well, every time you see me, because I'm doing a lot of performing at the time, I'm live.
Honestly, I feel like it adds to the name
I'm like,
so much.
you know, I'm live. This is, and when you get a performance, it's gonna be live.
It's
gonna
crazy
be lit.
how much it, like, that touch really does, like, it gives a flair to the name. Because King O is like, okay, like, King O is an all right name.
Right.
But King O Live, it, like, gives it, like O Live. It almost says, like, sounds like alive right there. Like, it's just such a stroke of genius,
So,
I feel like.
that became a thing, and from there, my best friend, who is like she's like my general manager of things, trying to keep me in line.
I believe I met her in our first interview.
Yep, definitely. So she was like, yeah, this is a fucking great idea.
Yeah.
Do it. I said, all right, it's done. So we ran with that. And from there, we went ahead and started putting out projects, releasing music. And that's what took off. That's what caught on. And shoot, I didn't change the name until about 2014-ish.
And what made that come about then? What brought about King O Live to Vaughn Lambo?
So what really changed that was, and here's the kicker. So this is going to be the kicker. So my first project that I actually took my time on and actually started going serious with, I actually titled King O Live Who.
Okay.
So bringing it full circle to close out, it's going to be who was King O Live.
Okay.
But what really brought about the name change was just growth. A lot of growth. A lot of growth. It was going from just when I was King O, going to King O Live, through all of that, it was a lot more singing involved with things. And so, you know, as I was doing a lot more singing with raps here and there, it was a lot of slower tone music, less upbeat music. It was still some good club songs here and there, but just the overall completely different vibe. So what really got the name change going was 2012, about spring 2012 or so, I ended up moving in with Fig the Kid. And make sure y'all go check out the pop-up shop. That's all on all streaming platforms. So I moved in with Fig. Me and Fig was making music heavy at the time, you know, and we decided to make this little rap duo that we become whenever we decide to create songs together called ADG. So he was ADG, and his ADG name was Trippy the Kid.
Trippy the Kid.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
Interesting. Now, is this pre-Figure the Kid?
No. This is all in the mix.
It was just a variation of that name. Wow.
And so I'm like, well, I don't really want to have a variant of King Live. I mean, like,
wow. And this is where, okay.
So, like, what we gonna do? So we sitting there spitballing names back and forth. So Big One knows that at the time I hated my middle name.
Yeah.
Vaughn. And so he's just talking shit. He like, so last name is Lambert. He like, man, we can call you Vaughn Lamborghini. You could be ADG Vaughn Lamborghini. I'm like, nah, bro, that's kind of long. You know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. He like, fuck it, you could be Vaughn Lambo then. And I'm like, I don't know, bro. Whatever. So it never really came to fruition. And then when we ended up doing We Want Her, and that's the song where it ended up being me, him, and Sway, we like, fuck it, we'll call it an ADG song. And we dropped the name Vaughn Lambo. So in essence, Fig gave me the name. We just took it from my actual name.
Yeah.
And with the change in style becoming a lot more rap, it was like perfect time to change. So I dropped my last project as King Live, and I ended up calling it Born a King. And one of the last songs on the project, I actually did a song featuring myself, and I did King Live featuring Vaughn Lambo.
And now that's why I asked too, because I know it gets to that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I'm like, this is going to be the official coming out for Vaughn Lambo.
Uh-huh.
And after that, I fell off the map for about a year, came back with all new music, and it was all under Vaughn Lambo. That was it.
And what year was that?
This would have been 2014 is when we dropped We Want Her, so 2015, 2016-ish would have been when I came full-fledged Vaughn Lambo.
And now, where does King Live come back then? Is that now? Has it been since 2014?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. There has been nothing made anywhere near that sound since 2014.
Oh, wow. Okay, so now a great question to ask there then is, what is it like trying to get back into that mind state of 2014 King Live? Like, how do you approach, you know what I mean? Because music kind of changes over time.
It definitely changes. It definitely changes and evolves. It was hard.
Yeah.
This project has literally probably been like 2 years in the making.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be Vaughn Lambo versus King Live. It was going to be Vaughn versus King O. It was so many changes. Because it was just hard getting back into that space of not wanting to rap on the way that I'm known for now.
In that way, Vaughn Lambo versus King Live is a great name.
Yes.
Because that's essentially what is happening there.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. And so that project may still come to fruition. It'll just be a different type of project.
I like that.
But so what ended up happening was I just had to really take a step back and look at my beat selection. Mm-hmm. Because one, I'm known for the high energy, the up tempo, fast pace, let's go. That's Vaughn Lambo through and through. High energy all day. And he takes that from King Live, from being live. You have to have that high energy. But I had to take a step back and remember that I also had subtle energy that was not as aggressive, a little more smooth.
I think that's what Vaughn Lambo is, right? That's that withheld, like, smooth energy, right?
Yeah.
Like where you're able to take what King Live was and then smooth it out and just have a vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
More vibe, just more up tempo with it, where I'm coming at you at a faster pace, high energy.
More just having fun.
Yeah.
Like, but also that same kind of like, King Live kind of is like a more childlike thing in a way, even. It's just more energetic, more off the wall.
More energetic, a little more off the wall, but a lot more personal too.
Yeah.
And it has a more serious side to it because it get a little more personal.
And you don't think with your Vaughn Lambo tracks you really delved into that as much?
Didn't have to get as deep. It was more let's get the vibes created versus giving some of me. I'm giving you Vaughn Lambo in a sense of like how Jay-Z would say, look, you don't know Sean. You know Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You get what I give you, so that's the only thing you know.
Yeah.
So I learned to adapt that with Vaughn Lambo. I'm going to give you this, so this is how it is perceived. That's it. I don't got to get personal. If I get personal, you won't know because I'm only giving you what I'm giving you. I'm just feeding you something. Versus King O Live, I would get personal. I would dive deep into the emotional things, the, relationships, whatever else. So on Who Was King O Live, you're actually going to get a lot more of that. You're going to get, even in Dance to This, it's a way slower vibe. And the project all feels like that. But it feels groovy, basically. Something you could actually kind of work with. Like, and you do want to dance. You want to move a little bit. You want to feel those things.
Okay. And so is it dance music? Would you call it that?
I wouldn't call it dance music, but it has more of an R&B feel to it. I would call it like R&B hip hop.
R&B hip hop.
Something to that nature.
Okay. And now was that wasn't really what King O Live was before now, was it?
No, not exactly. It was
so it's almost a natural progression on King O Live itself.
Yeah, King O Live was more, getting out of wanting to do sports, kind of finding the more creative side of things and really just being like all out passionate. Yeah. Not really taking the time to kind of study and learn things as much. But
it's almost like a less marketable Vaughn Lambo.
Right.
Yeah, before Vaughn Lambo figured out the business side of things.
Right.
And he was like, okay, I guess
now we got to do this and this.
Yeah.
It was more just I'm creating, I'm putting it out there. I want you to feel this.
Yeah.
Versus, okay, I'm taking it serious and this is something now I know this shit is meant for me. I'm meant to give you this.
Yeah.
Not I'm just giving it to you. I'm meant to give it to you. You're meant to have this from me. Not from somebody else, from me. So in that aspect, it changed the way I view music, viewed approaching songs, different things like that. Because if I want to give you a vibe, I need to know what vibe you want.
Yeah.
So in the scheme of how music and hip hop was changing, we were getting away from more of the slower jams, more into the party joints, the feel good. It was almost like, in a sense, like 80s was coming back with, think about like Fetty Waps and shit like that.
Yeah.
Fetty Wap, and even now, even like all the gangster niggas, they singing about killing. Got my Draco. What? The speed of things has changed.
Yeah.
So just in evolving with that, this project, in fact, I think I got a couple joints here. Let me see. They give it.
I like that there's such a philosophy behind it. I like that it's not just as simple as I'm just trying to do the same thing I was doing before.
No,
it's a lot different than that.
No, it has to be, because if I'm just going to do the same thing I did before, it probably will receive that way or less.
Yeah.
So even in the beginning, it starts off real Vaughn Lambo feel. I did that on purpose though, because I wanted you to
ease them into it.
Yeah, I want you to know I'm finna do something. So I gotta reel you in first.
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm finna do.
Yeah.
But this little snippet is
okay.
It's a little reel in.
That's that spicy shit.
Cause you're gonna think Vaughn Lambo's coming hard.
If you ain't never heard.
This is the intro track?
Yes, intro track.
Okay.
I rock ice. Yeah, you know I got it, that pop life. Boy, you know about it, better talk nice. Always get it right and let me talk my shit. Let me talk my shit.
So you hear that?
Yeah.
You're thinking, okay, this is gonna be, he's about to come crazy.
To be a straight hip hop album right here.
And shout out to Sean Sounds for the beat, but that's it, and then it continually now changes.
Yeah.
Because now that beat is completely different.
Okay.
The whole even start of the song. But I'm still easing you in. Easing you in just a bit. The hook won't still be good.
She like the fact I ain't a single nigga. I ain't really got the time for the bitch.
So I'm still kind of easing you in.
Yeah, I can see.
But
getting a little bit more into that groove.
Yep.
A little bit.
And so now we're gonna really jump in, and this is why this one is the single though.
And is this track number 3?
Yep.
Okay.
And this will be the single. This one is out on all platforms for listening. You see, and now complete change.
Yeah.
Now you've been eased in, and now we're about to go full throttle.
Okay.
Baby, don't you wanna dance to this? Don't you wanna hit your friends to this? Baby, don't you wanna ride?
So whole different place, whole different tempo with things.
Yeah, I see.
And now this hook, no rapping.
Baby, don't you wanna dance to this? She say yeah, yeah. She say yeah, yeah. Don't you wanna hit your friends to this? She say yeah, yeah. She say yeah, yeah. Baby, don't you wanna rock?
So from here, the whole vibe of the project, now you're in. You're in now.
I like that.
Now you're in.
I can give you what you've been wanting. No stress, more press. We can do it your way. No face, no case. If that's how you
And so these
It's
are the
almost
vibes.
like a fake out at the beginning.
Yes.
Like you're expecting something else, and it really does pull the rug under you on track 3. I see what you're saying.
And so the vibes are gonna play like that throughout the remainder of the project.
Okay.
Because that's more Kingo Live speed. So as you actually get to listen to the songs and listen to the content, you'll actually hear those parts where I'm delving into personal life.
Yeah.
You need to, because that's one thing I think Kingo Live did very well. As Kingo Live very well, he was able to show you, this is who I am.
Yeah. Like
And-
more of a personal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus Vaughn Lambo saying, all right, this is what you're getting. Let me show you superstar me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what this project is going to do is solidify the balance between the two. I'm gonna give you what you've been wanting, to know me as a person, not just the person who jump up on the stage and get you turned.
Yeah.
So I'm opening this opportunity with this album, and it's gonna go ahead and open up new doors for people to actually peer into and see the life of Vaughn Lambo. All the shenanigans, the crazy dances, the same stuff you see on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, you're gonna be able to feel in all songs going forward. Not just hear, but feel. You know.
Yeah, like a different side to you.
This is gonna be y'all got side 80s last few years. Now you're gonna flip it over to side B, and we're gonna do some good things with it.
Okay. Man, but this is the end of King O Live at the same time.
Yep.
If I'm correct.
That is very
so
correct.
So after this, we get a whole different Vaughn Lambo.
Whole different.
I feel like that's the way it moves. Like,
yes.
Okay, Vaughn Lambo just went through this massive. He went into a cocoon. Like this is the cocoon phase.
Yes.
Now he's about to bust out because it's such a weird way to look at it, because it really is like you're taking the character and you're kind of giving him a final, a final thing.
Final farewell, a send off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost cathartic, I imagine, for you as an artist, right? Like
Very
it
much
must
so,
be
because
something.
it's crazy, because in my closet I still got Kingo Live merch.
Yeah.
You know, even on the internet, the internet keeps everything.
It's almost like you're killing him.
It keeps everything.
It's
even
like
on
killing
my
off a
Instagram,
character in a TV show.
if you go to my Instagram and scroll down to the bottom,
Uh-huh.
you will see some Kingo Live shit.
Well, it's
I'm
the
pretty sure you
origins. It's literally the
You'll see
origins of Vaughn Lambo.
And if you don't see it there, you're gonna see it on my Facebook music page, on Facebook, on Twitter. You're gonna see it everywhere else.
Yeah.
You can literally just hop on the internet and say Kingo Live, search.
Yeah.
It will pull up all the old shit. It's still on. I'm not taking anything away from the internet. I'm not gonna delete anything. All the old music and shit that's there is gonna be there. So you can still jump on YouTube and search. I think the username at the time was like 022 King or something. Search that and all Kingo Live stuff is gonna come up. Even the embarrassing cover songs from college, everything. I'll leave everything there because one, I'm not ashamed of it. I love it. Two, I like to go back and look at it and just remember, you started here with zero, bro.
Yeah.
Literally with zero. You was just doing this and having fun. You weren't making no money.
Yeah.
You didn't have no fans, nothing. You didn't have supporters. You know what I'm saying? So I keep those things there. One, to keep myself humble, because, anything can be taken at any time. But because I know it's people who just actually just love Kingo Live. So why would I take that away from them?
I think that it's almost like I've always felt in a way that art is kind of like this mountain that you're always building on, and you don't intentionally do it, but it's like everything you create is adding to this giant mountain of art that you've made. And like it just builds up and up and up.
And the one thing is, though, as you say that, when you're building this mountain, the weird thing about building this mountain, you're building it from the bottom up.
Yeah.
So you're always on top.
Yeah.
So all those older art pieces, those don't get remembered as much, because people, when you go into a mountain, you care about getting to the top, right?
Yeah.
What's at the bottom don't matter as much.
Yeah.
You might get to the top and be like, "Ooh, I did it." But most times, or most people typically don't get to the top and be like, "Man, look at all that work I put in to get here." They say, "No, I'm at the top. I'm glad I'm here."
I mean, but that's what I'm getting at. For me, I think of it like the other way, where it's like all of those pieces build this giant puzzle. Like, you don't have that top without all that stuff on the way up.
And that's the way I like to think about it because for me...
And you don't know the value in that stuff either.
And the thing is, like, if I'm at this top right now, if I rip that bottom out, don't I get lower?
Yeah, that's... Wow. Wow, that's nice.
Because even...
Wow, I love that. That's really nice.
Because let's think about it as artists here.
Yeah.
As an artist... I still have accumulated everything Kingo Live has. Because that is still my entity.
Yeah.
If I rip off those accumulations, don't all my numbers drop?
Yeah. It's almost like, to me, it's not ignoring the numbers, ignoring all that. It's like a loss in itself. Like, just the inherent value of the art. It will never be there. Like, no one else is going to be able to stumble upon it and get their feelings about it or whatever. It's just...
It's gone. Yeah. And that's why, like, it's not,
I hate deleting anything. Like, I'm so, like, anything at all. I'm a hoarder when it comes to, like, art type stuff. I don't want to get rid of it ever.
And here's the funny thing, as we talk in origins and such, here's a kicker. So my first project I ever released on all major platforms was, of course, as Kingo Live, but it was called Welcome to the Palace.
All right.
5-song EP.
Welcome to the Palace.
Fucking amazing. It was engineered by Rude Boy Slim out in Beecher. Shout out to you. I had a feature with Fig on there, I believe. Feature with Sway. And here's the key one. I had a feature with Vontae Gray. Here's the trick about this feature. And this also helped spawn the evolution of Vaughn Lambo. Because on this project, you know, we have been working on this song, you know, and we tapped in for about a couple weeks. We ride around the city listening to the beat. He'd just be rapping, you know, and I'm writing some shit, you know, yada, yada, yada. So a couple weeks, I get him in the studio now, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, you got your verse?" He said, "Nah." I said, "What you mean, no?" Like, bro, I'm finna drop this shit. Like, this is my first official, like, drop that's going on all the streaming platforms and shit. You know, this is before everything is super big. This is probably like this might be like 2013, 2014, something like that.
Okay.
But he like, "No, I ain't write nothing." I'm like, "So what you finna do?" He's like, "I'm just going in and freestyle." I said, "Oh shit, I'm nervous. Cause I done wrote my shit. My shit been wrote for a week now."
Yeah.
Man, he goes in here and he spit the most fire shit I done heard. I said, "What the fuck?" He just came in here, freestyle on my track that I paid for, that I've been writing to for a week, and he shit it on my verse. Like, my verse wasn't bad or nothing, but I personally feel like he shit it on my verse to just be coming in and just talking spicy like that. I'm like, "Yep, from now on, I'm not writing."
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I guess my phone wanted to give you some new music.
Man, look at that. That was like a dramatic song entrance right there. I felt like it was perfect timing almost.
Dude, I'm not writing no more. Because fuck this. Fuck this. He not finna come in here and do me like this on my shit.
Yeah.
So,
I can feel that. Because, like, I feel like, it's almost like freestyling gives you a different energy. Like, people when they freestyle, and I felt I had a similar reaction when I first, like, heard somebody say something like that. Like, "Oh, I only freestyle." I was thinking, like, okay, well, like, there's no way that you're gonna achieve the same caliber of quality if you're always freestyling. One thing that I learned recently that blew my mind, because I know that people do this now.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne hasn't written anything since, like, the the 90s, I'm pretty sure is what it is. Now, that makes sense to me in my brain now. But even when I first heard that, it's like, what? Like, just think about all the classic Lil Wayne songs. Like, all the great Lil Wayne tracks. All the great one-liners that he's just dropped. Like, the one thing he's amazing at is just pulling one-liners out of nowhere. Yeah. And they all are just like, they hit you in a way where it's like you get it, but you still get to like,
Kicker. I love that part because, and now that we're talking about Wayne, this is great because.
But he's that.
Yeah.
He's freestyling. Like the tip top to me is one of the best.
Here's the kicker. Also the kicker when it comes to freestyling.
Yeah.
You got a lot of freestylers who don't freestyle that verse.
They got like pocket bars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. But then also let's tap back in on the Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah, he freestyling, but he doing it in a different way. I don't know if you ever watched some of his sessions, but I've watched a fuck ton of them.
Well, he's cutting in, ain't he?
Every time.
Yeah.
He'd be like, all right, I'm on the mic, about to spit some shit. She's just bigger like a trike. Hold up. All right, play that back. Let me hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, now I hear it. I'm coming up with some bars in my head. So, yes, I'm not writing.
Yeah.
But I'm writing. You're right. You're mentally writing.
But I feel like that's a middle ground.
Yes,
like
I agree.
That essentially is freestyling.
It definitely is.
Because you're not going in there with any, like...
With anything.
But
you're going...
It's that natural vibe that you're following. Like, oh, okay, like, you just... Because when I'm writing... I feel like I'm almost freestyling on paper. It just gives me the chance to change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, one of my favorite ones that I watched was I was watching him record a verse, and the way he did it, he almost did it in like 4. So he was like bar for bar for bar for bar, and then he sit there and listen to it for a second, and then he like, all right, punch me in.
Yeah.
So, and when he say punch me in, though, he mean punch him in at the beginning of the track again.
Oh, okay.
So he would rap them first 4 bars because now he remembers them because he heard them a couple times.
Wow.
And amongst him hearing it couple of times, he's come up with the next couple of bars that's going to go after that. So then he raps those bars with the new ones. He listens to that a time or 2.
It's amazing.
And now he remembers it, and now he finishes out the verse.
That really does blow my mind. Like, I mean, it's there's such craftsmanship to that.
Definitely.
That's not just something anybody can do.
And so that's where I went with it.
Yeah.
I didn't jump in there and just be like, I'm about to record a 16. Hell no.
Yeah.
Maybe I got 8. Maybe I got 4 this time. Maybe I got 2. Maybe I got 1. Mm-hmm. But whatever I got, I'm coming back with it. But I was determined at that moment. After he came in there and did that, I was determined to figure out how to not have to write. Mm-hmm. And I spent about a year or so doing that. Actually, Born a King, I didn't write.
Well, now, was this the pause? Was this where that pause was between your music? Where you were like trying to figure that out?
Yeah. So after that, after I did the Born a King, that was me trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And then the pause came after that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, now that I think I got a grasp on it, I have to now break myself again to relearn my writing prospects so that I can put them both together to where maybe I can go in and write 8 bars and then just be like, all right, I'm gonna freestyle the rest. And so I started doing that for a while. I'd be like, yeah, I'm only gonna write 4 bars for this verse, or I'm gonna write 8 bars for this verse, and the rest I'm gonna rap this and then I'm gonna freestyle after it. And what comes out, we'll see what it sounds like. If I don't like it, I can go back and do it again. Mm-hmm. And I started trying to, because I had to figure out how to mix it in again.
But you have to have a mastery of that if you're going to go in and pay for studio time.
Definitely.
That's the real thing.
And that was the key.
One can do that in a home studio.
Yes.
Anybody can do that in a home studio.
Mm-hmm.
But like as soon as you're going in and paying for studio time, now you have to really you have to be confident.
Yeah. And so that's always the beauty of having a home studio, because I've always kept a home studio.
Yep.
But then also I love going to the studio to do what I can't personally do.
It's such a different experience.
Yeah,
I feel like, people
because
you can talk up home studios all you want, and I personally recommend them to everybody.
Yes,
but
definitely.
There's such a difference to just like you just said. It's like seeing someone do things you can't do, because one, you can learn from that, and for another thing, it gives you such an opportunity to see your art through a different light.
Yes,
like you just wouldn't do it that way. So you can't even fathom how it would be.
And you also, and the kicker there is, you also get to just be the artist.
Yeah, right. You get to be the guy who just walks up in there and says his words,
and that's it.
And
you
you're
can
done.
be like, okay,
yeah,
that's it. And
that's
now,
a great point.
And when it's time for the sound, it also, with it being created differently from how your eyes would have been, you can be like, well, this is what I want it to sound like.
Yeah.
And because this going to be going about a different way, it may come out completely different from what you were capable of.
Right.
But now it's way closer to what you asked for. Maybe even exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's like I didn't realize the value in collaboration much, especially growing up because I had that idea in my brain. Like, it's all about mixing my stuff myself, getting it all out myself. But a great example is like movies. Any movie that you truly love is probably worked on by. It's only that good because it's made by like 50 different people in charge of 50 different things.
I ain't met a person yet who says they don't love the song All of the Lights.
Oh, that's a great song. That's a great song. You're right. That's a good point.
Kanye said he had about 50 producers on that. 50? He said he had about 50 producers on that, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, does that mean he like made the song 50 different times, or like did he really have that many different people just working on the same? I don't even know how that's
He had
possible.
that many different people working on that track.
Wow.
They were all collaborating and probably didn't even know it.
Yeah. You know what's funny about it is like if you said any other artist, I might not believe you, but it's Kanye. So it's like, okay, yeah, he would do that.
He would definitely do that.
He would do that.
Shit, what won't Kanye do?
but Kanye's got that unfiltered genius in him.
Yes.
Where it's like he's just pushing out everything that's like that's what makes him so creative. Is like, yeah, he's off the wall. He'll say crazy ass controversial things, but that's the same Kanye that has that sound that nobody else can touch on.
And the key thing, I don't know if you've seen Kanye's interview on, I think it's called The Drunk Champs or The Drinking Champs or some shit, Drinking Champions or some shit.
Yeah.
But it was relatively new. But he tapped in on that, the specific word, crazy. He like, yeah, you can call me crazy. I'll be crazy, but you're not going to use that as something to take away from my creations, from my art, from my capabilities.
Yeah.
He said, I will be that, but don't try to use that as a word that's going to take away from my capability. He said, I'm taking that right now. I'm owning that. I'm crazy. So what? Look at what I can do.
That's my point when I talk about that. I'm saying, like, if you don't like those parts of Kanye, you just can't you can't enjoy his art and then criticize all the other parts because it all comes as a package.
Exactly.
Like, that is what makes him think that way. It's all there together.
You can't think that way because apparently you're not crazy, so you're not a genius.
Yeah.
You're dumb. Too bad.
I mean, oh man, and back to our point we were talking about before, Kanye's also a great example because all of those sounds that Kanye has, it's like it's similar
he
to.
Definitely
we were
evolved.
having a conversation before the podcast about like Mark Zuckerberg and the way that he's really good at tapping into ideas.
Yes, tapping into ideas and bringing them to fruition because he has the mind for it.
Yeah, and often people in his type of situation who end up like mega billionaires, blah blah blah, are those types of people.
Yeah,
I feel like Kanye. You can look at throughout the years all the different sounds that people had that he picked up, like Chance even. Chance was the guy who picked up that gospel thing.
Yep.
And then Kanye took that to a whole other
super
level.
moved it. Now you have Sundays with Kanye.
Exactly, and you wouldn't have that without Chance, which is but nobody's talking about Chance's gospel. They're talking about Kanye's Sunday choir
because they're not talking about Chance's gospel at all. And the thing is, Kanye reached out and worked with Chance.
Yeah.
Kanye is the epitome of reaching back to your city and pulling motherfuckers up.
Or just reaching back to hip hop.
Yes.
Like understanding what is the next thing in hip hop. Like
Kanye is always ahead on the next wave of shit. Everybody thought that what is that album with Blood on the Leaves on it?
Is that Yeezus?
Yeah, that might be that one.
I think it is. That was the one where he got like he got a lot more minimal with his production. Like he really took a step back in the production, like not in a bad way, but he was really getting more experimental at that point.
That was really, really experimental, and everybody was like, "Oh, I don't like this project."
Yeah,
I'm like, I love this shit, and I'm like, it's so ahead of its time, though.
Yeah.
Like,
it really is.
I get it now, and I get it in the sense of ahead of its time because that's how I feel like. How kind of me and Sway were with MySpace.
Yeah.
Just, like I said, tangents. Here we go. But, because on MySpace, at the time, when you promoting music and stuff, everybody didn't want to be tagged and everything, or even the beginnings of Facebook. It was more like,
more frowned upon.
Don't tag me and everything.
Yeah.
Stop tagging me. Don't do that. You spam me.
Right.
So, at the time, me and Sway was doing that, and what I'm saying, everybody was like, it's frowned upon, whatever. I mean, it helped us gain a phenomenal fan base on MySpace. But
yeah, that's how I always looked at it. Well, it's working.
yeah, and it was phenomenal. Hey, I wish MySpace would have not lost the battle to Facebook.
For real.
For real.
Because they were focused on music quite a bit. Facebook never really went that direction at all.
And so that shifted shit, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
Point being that now it's like every time you make a post about your music or something, you need to tag everyone you can.
Or else they won't see it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now it's not even that it's a frowned upon thing, it's that we was fucking years ahead of the game.
You know what's funny is I literally had that thought in my brain the other day because Jeff Sky tagged me in a post, and I'm pretty sure I saw him post about that. Like, no offense, no, I don't care. I thought Jeff Sky was one of the people that posted, like, man, don't be tagging me and stuff. It could have been another Flint rapper that I'm misremembering, but
Who
it was
knows?
just peculiar to me because Jeff Sky's never tagged me in a music post before, and I think it's what you're saying. Like, it's just nobody cares anymore. Like, maybe back in the day it was more frowned upon because Facebook was taking a little more like this is just, but now everybody realizes
everybody's
like,
just like,
it's
share
just
that shit
Facebook,
now.
bro. Like,
And
nobody, and as a musician, you would really understand.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to see it.
And it's nuts.
I wonder what rapper it was that posted it.
It's
I hope
so fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Because it's like, now, because me and Sway were so ahead of that shit, we don't really do that.
Yeah.
Because at the time...
You think at this point, it's not the time to do that.
Right. But then because it's like now... tapping in on Jeff, even now, Jeff don't just tag a bunch of random motherfuckers.
Yeah.
He'll actually make a post before anything and be like, yo, new shit coming.
And I'll say Jeff's ahead of his time with all that stuff,
man,
too.
Jeff ahead of his time on videos and everything.
It's crazy.
That motherfucker, he'd be like, yo, if I could tag you, like this post.
Yeah.
Drop a comment or something.
Yup.
If I got 100 likes, I can't even tag all y'all niggas.
Yeah.
I'm maxed out. My bad, I tried. But like he was way ahead, and I think that may be something Jeff even understood at the time because Jeff would have seen that shit too. Jeff been making music for a grip, so he would have seen, oh no, don't be spamming. So he was like, oh, this is my way around it, and also a way to see who really rocking.
Right. That's true. That's true. And I think it's something that I can understand why it would be frowned upon because it's not the best marketing. It's just the only way, like with Facebook. Like that's why it's not a big deal. But I think the big thing was when it was at a point Facebook were like, it was like MySpace. Yeah. So you were just kind of like adding everybody you could. Like, oh, she's pretty. Oh, he do the same shit I do. Like, we're gonna just add people. Mm-hmm. So before current Facebook, where you kind of mostly know a good amount of your friends. Yeah. It might have been more like MySpace Facebook, where you probably knew 100, 200 out of your 5,000 friends. But and you can't add nobody else.
And then you're tagging everyone, and you're not tagging the people that you specifically know don't give a fuck. Yeah. So now you're tagging random people, and when you're tagging the random people who don't fucking know you, don't really give a fuck what you're tagging them in, them the ones who leave the comment, why you tagging me in this shit? Stop tagging. And so that kind of drags your post down.
But you know why I think it's a tough thing?
But again, that was back in the day.
It's good because you're getting your family and friends. You're getting the people who will support you, like you just said. But I had a great piece of advice from, I believe it was Frosty the tattoo artist. You know him well.
Of course I do. My cousin.
Another one of my favorite interviews, I must say.
He'd probably be back at the end of the month.
Oh, really? He's coming back again?
Yeah, his birthday is at the end of the month. I think he's coming back.
Yeah. He came back for his birthday, I think. Yep. Dude, I'm pretty sure the first interview I had with you was around it was yours or his birthday. Yep. It might have been your birthday.
It was definitely my birthday.
Yes, it was.
Exactly on my birthday.
It was. That's what made me remember. I heard the word birthday, and I remember he showed up. That's why I remember him walking in and be like, oh, okay, Frosty's here. But Frosty said, if you're posting an advertisement, don't put it in Flint. Put it in some completely different, or at least don't say Flint, Michigan on your thing, because then people, it's like a subconscious thing. People from around you are gonna see that and be like, oh, a Flint rapper, like they're from Flint. They think of you as the guy.
Move along. I can see you tomorrow, whatever.
Exactly. Whereas if you're living in like New York, Chicago, Vegas, just a different state, you see Flint, Michigan, you're like, oh, okay, I don't know Flint, Michigan, a Flint rapper, what?
Right? Or you at least thinking, well, I heard of Flint before because of this.
Exactly.
What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. But that's where it's more effective. And that piece of advice really struck me in that way because I had always thought, okay, like get the people around you on board.
Fuck no.
That's a part of it, but like maybe at the beginning, that's like beginning moves.
Getting the people, and when I say around you, I don't mean like your core group of people. When I say getting the people around you, I mean family and friends, or people specifically in your city.
Yeah,
that is the most minuscule part.
Right, 100%.
The most, because most times you're not getting no kind of love from them until they see you getting love.
Exactly.
Because then
they're like, oh, I'm from where he's from.
Because at that point, they're only going to be really looking at you and reflecting their own thoughts and beliefs.
Yeah. That's why it would be that. Like, oh, he's from Flint, Michigan. Oh, I'm from Flint. I know what that's like.
Right. And then it's more like, well, shit, people from here ain't doing that, or yada, you know, so it's that whole stigma jumps in versus if I'm from Flint and I tag somebody in Detroit and they hear my song, they like, I don't know him. I know Flint though.
Yeah.
I know Flint kind of dope, whatever. You know, they got a different look. Or you tag somebody out of state, they don't have a stigma of he's from Flint. Mm-hmm. He can't do this. It'd be the same as if you're Jay-Z and you're in New York.
Yeah.
Dude, you're just another kid on the block. But this kid from the block could do something.
Yeah.
But that's not the stigma that the people around you have.
And that's why I bring it up with the Facebook thing.
Yeah.
It's a rock and a hard place, right?
Yeah.
Because it still is cool. It still kind of works. But it's almost like it's impossible to get anything done in that format.
Now let's jump back to what you said, what Frosty was telling you. So how about instead of making this post with my music and tagging all these people in my friends list, I make my post, turn it into an advertisement, and now I target my market.
Now, this is where it gets hairy. Because I do think that advertising on social media it works. Like, it's undeniable.
It works immaculately.
It works. But the problem is the cost to do it has been just getting higher. Like, it's almost like inflation with that stuff.
I agree.
It's went up so much in the last few years. Like, when it was first a thing on Instagram, it was so effective. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Because I could put $10 into an ad, and I would have, like, 3,000 views on a video. It blew my mind. I was like, wow. Because I didn't have that much traction when I first started rapping. And of course I'm going to advertise.
Yeah.
And I was a kid, so I didn't have that much money. So it's like, okay, I'm throwing $15 on this. And then it gave me those results. But I could even, through those few years, see those results trickle down and down and down. And now it's just worse than it ever was.
Key thing. Here's the key, too. So with the marketing at first, and this is just what I noticed personally, because I've used the ads and too, but at first they weren't giving you as many options as you have now.
Not as targeted.
Targeting.
Yeah.
They were kind of like, if you were like, all right, I want to be in Minnesota, you were in Minnesota, and they were just spamming your shit in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Versus now they're like, all right, we can generate you a campaign for these types of people in this market type of thing, or you can customize and make your own, which that's why it's key to know, like, who's your target market. Like I said, a country motherfucker ain't gonna be like, yeah, I want this black man in his late 20s, you know what I'm saying, with dreads to, no. They gonna be, in Michigan? No. They gonna be like, I want to target 18 to 30-year-olds in Tennessee, in Alabama, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. So,
well, maybe the country artists want that, but the marketing team wouldn't.
Definitely.
Marketing team be like, no, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You want to know who you're looking for, and that's what I love them as, because
that's why you need managers and stuff.
What I do,
it's hard to figure out what your target audience is for some people.
So what I do for the key is I'll take $5.
Okay.
And $5, I'll literally run like 2 weeks or a month campaign on the ad.
Okay.
Because what that's going to do for me is, and I'll run it a little more general than what I think my target is.
Yeah.
So that way, I'll see what I'm hitting after that ad is done. That gives me a way better idea of who's looking.
Okay.
Don't go all out in your first ad. Hell no. Because what if your ad just wasn't hitting? Yeah. Maybe you was hitting all the right people, but your ad wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Maybe you can make a better ad and target that same market. So what I do is, to be specific, I'll do like $3 a week runs.
Okay.
And I'll have like 2 or 3 preset visuals for my ad, whether it's a picture or a video. And I'll have 2 or 3 preset captions.
Okay.
I'll run them each for a week. $3 for the week. see what the relationship to each is. And then on 4th week, I take what I've learned, put the best ad together from what I know, and then I just run it for $10 and see what it does. If it does well, I know I'm on to something. If it doesn't, I need to reevaluate and do my $3 weeks again.
I see.
And so in that frame, I'm not wasting my money. I'm getting very, very good information. And then when my song drops, I now know where I'm targeting my money for my ad.
Okay, let me ask you a question about this. As soon as I go pee real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I just drank a bunch of coffee. But I like what you're getting at here.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Interesting stuff.
Let's do
give
it.
a marketing tip while I'm gone.
No. Well, marketing 101. First thing, do not tag your family and friends and expect them to support you just because they family and friends. Trust me, it does not work that way. Natty Daddy 101. Since he wanted to drop some marketing tips, marketing tip number 2. When you are doing a visual, if it's a still visual, you want to make sure that it's clean cut if you're doing a logo or anything like that. If it's a logo or something, even if it's cover art. Cover art, you really want to have more clean cut, not as cluttered. You don't want to have too much going on because, again, attention spans this day and age are pretty terrible. If you got a video clip, you want to keep that clip to 15 seconds or less for an ad. You don't want to do 30 seconds. You don't want to do a minute. You're not famous. You are not a big company. So keep it short, keep it simple, keep it sweet. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do that, that way you grab the attention, you get it going. And also in your ads, make sure you provide a link. Please. I can't stress that enough. If you do not provide a link, please don't expect somebody to go click the link in your bio. You've lost their attention at that point. Don't expect them to be like, oh, you're on YouTube, and go search your name. You've lost their attention at that point. They're scrolling. So if they scrolling, they want to be able to scroll and keep scrolling. So when you make that ad, make the caption short, sweet, attention grabbing. Make your visual. If it's a video, 15 seconds or less. If it's just a photo, make it clean cut. Third thing, make sure you have a link. Have a link in that caption, in that ad, directly to your product, to your service. Because no one wants to go looking for you. We've already found you with the ad. Click the link, boom. If you're on Instagram and you're posting stuff in your story, make it a goal to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram. It gives you the swipe up option. So in your story, they can just swipe up, go and get your product or service, listen to the song, go back to what they was doing. You want to make everything as easy on people as you can. Make everything as accessible as you can. Marketing 101 with the Natty Daddy.
Wow. Look at you. See, this is why I say Vaughn Lambo is a natural. He doesn't realize how much of a natural he is, folks. He doesn't even realize, I swear. He's so humble.
I'm just talking. Just talking.
But I wanted to say, now with that strategy that you were telling me about before, does that work generally? Like when it comes to just doing those few trial ads and then doing the last one, does the last one generally work out?
The last one generally works out well if you have an idea of who your market is. You don't have to know off the bat, but again, getting through those first 3 weeks, that will give you a great idea because week 1, you can make it very general and see what your responses are, where they are, what ages, male or female. If they don't identify, non-binary, you can identify all these things. And then in week 2, you can make it a little more precise, shrink the area, get a little more precise on the age, gender. And then in week 3, you'll see results again. If the results aren't better from week 2 to week 1, then you know you made the wrong adjustment. Okay. So now you adjust from week 2 to week 3.
But it's also, like you said, it's based on the ads themselves, too. Like, you can't just simply go off of...
Don't just think, oh, I put this picture up and I put this caption up, it's going to reach 1 million people. No.
Yeah.
You have to have something that's going to grab people. Your caption needs to be short, sweet, concise, and wow. It needs to have a link so they can get to it. And your visual has to be something that's grabbing somebody. No one wants to watch a minute-long commercial to find out what your product is, to find out what the song is going to be like. You need that done in 10, 15 seconds so that they're like, let's go. Click the link.
Yeah.
And after they click the link, they can get their fix, literally push back on their device and go back to what they were doing.
You know, where I think ads they really stick out is actually TikTok. I think that when you're scrolling on TikTok, a lot of the ads
TikTok and Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat, because the culture of the app is captured within the ads.
Yes, it's just videos, and even the ads are like,
yeah,
and they ever changing too. And it's just those. And again, I can't stress it enough. These are not minute-long ads.
Well, you know, keep it simple, stupid. KISS.
Yes.
The acronym for what you were saying, I
Yes.
believe. Because that's how it's just don't... Think about it like if it were you and you were just watching something and you needed the simplest form to understand what, it's foreign to you and you just need to know what it is. Like, look at it that way. Like, how are you going to communicate what you're trying to communicate super simple and sweet, real quick, in a way that's entertaining?
And to piggyback on that, while you're looking at it in that fashion, look at it as yourself being a viewer. You are watching this snap or watching these TikToks unprohibited. Why would I want you to cut into me watching this with commercials like it's TV?
Yeah.
I don't want them minute-long things. So if you don't keep it short and sweet, I'm either one, the app's gonna start losing viewers, because trust me, that's what happened to YouTube. Even though YouTube is the biggest motherfucking video service ever, when they added all them ads in, YouTube started getting less views.
Yeah, they won't admit it though. They won't admit it though.
Got less users once they started adding all them ads because we were used to seamlessness.
YouTube's gotten pretty bad with that too. It's gotten worse.
And that's why they've added the YouTube music shit. Hey, just pay for this and you don't get any ads.
Pay for less ads.
But see, and that's it. That's a key thing. Everybody does it now. They're like, we got ads. If you don't want
Spotify, I think was one of the first ones that
if you
really laid it down.
If you don't want ads, pay this price.
Well, dude, Spotify is so straight up. They just literally they made ads to tell you how you could get rid of ads by paying. Like,
exactly.
Like you'd be listening to your music, it would stop, be like, what was it? What was the thing they would always say? Want to break from the ads?
Yeah. Want to break from the ads? Spotify Premium.
It's like, get out of my ears.
Like, and the YouTube will do it when you log in. As soon as you sign in, it'll be like, don't want commercials? Try YouTube Premium.
Yeah. And you know what hurts the most? Is that I did the trial on YouTube Premium, and it was awesome because there were not any ads.
Dude, it was so good. I ain't gonna lie. I put mine on pause in like August because I'm like, fuck, I'm not paying for this and paying for Spotify. Like, for what, bro? What am I doing?
Oh, I did the trial and it hurt to not, because I was like, I can't pay for this, but it was so nice.
Man,
but that's how they get you. I wasn't gonna let them get me.
It's beautiful because now I'm getting all the videos. I don't gotta just listen to the music. Like, I can play the video and just be good. I'm like, God dang it.
Ads, I feel like there's like it's like what it reminds me of with an ad, like not a good ad. That's why I mentioned TikTok, because TikTok a lot of them just find their way in. Like like I get a lot of music ads, and I'm cool with that. If I get a musician advertising to me, I'm like, yeah, you did your job, TikTok. Like that's
See, and I like getting those on YouTube where it's like the artist is putting in that advertisement, and I'll also be like, damn. You had to have probably a pretty decent target to hit me.
Right.
Because of the specific types of music that I'm listening to, my area, age, shit. I'm like, you had to really have a good advertisement to hit me.
That's true as well. Yeah. I think TikTok, you're right, because the quality posts tend to be the ones that hit you too with something like that.
Yeah.
But I was going to say the reason that it sticks out to me is because I don't get that feeling as much with something like that as when I'm on YouTube. And bruh, I click one video.
And you got 3-4 ads.
Well, it's like...
They be like, yeah, your video we're starting 2.5 minutes. Bro, the video only 2.5 minutes.
It used to be different. It used to be like there would be on select videos. There would be...
On select videos, there'll be an ad. And I need to go check my YouTube because actually, it's funny because once your video actually reaches from my last YouTube check, once your video gets so many views, you can actually opt to have ads play before or after your video. And if people actually click on the ads, you get paid for them. That's called AdSense.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember how it goes exactly. It's a certain amount of subscribers or something, I think. Like,
It might be.
Thing. It's
something like, but I
number.
remember I've gotten it on both of my YouTube channels now, and I'm like,
It's why YouTubers used to always do 10-minute. Well, that's mid-roll ads actually, but it's the same idea.
Yeah.
You get paid for each mid-roll ad.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, I don't really want to put my people in the ad position, but y'all gonna offer me some money. Hey, y'all might have to watch this 10-second
I don't even know if it's like that anymore. I think
don't
they
know.
just throw it on anything half the time.
I feel like they do now. They
Yeah.
just dropping ads because people paying for ad space now.
I think I read something about it. Like they said that they were just going to start putting advertisements on everything, and you'd only make money if you were a partner of YouTube.
Yeah, because you have to be a monetized partner.
But like, dude, the amount of times I've opened a video, and it's like a feeling of just like annoyance. It's like it's a biological thing. Like when you wake up in the morning, it's best to stay away from your phone for about an hour. It's just a thing because
Right.
if you, it's like you're still in the waking state.
Yeah.
So and you're in that state, you're still kind of like getting to your senses. This is how your day begins. That's why I say eat
and
breakfast.
It's gonna have your day. This is how your day is about to unfold.
But what's interesting about it is that when you even interacting with another human, but I feel like the phone does it to a weird extent. It's like you're getting this thing that's affecting you in a way that you can't predict. You don't. It's not you. You're not the one making the choices.
Right.
Now you're on your phone and you're seeing all these things, and it's like I get that same feeling when I open a YouTube video,
Man.
and I get an ad. I'm like, just because it's like I know how the system works. I know this is normal. But why are you doing this to me?
This is not what I asked for.
This is not what I asked for.
It's not what I asked for.
I'm not
at
a
all.
satisfied customer right now. But, you know, I think the guy, everything's headed in that direction, obviously. Like, when it comes to, what was that big Netflix thing they had come out about? It was the guy, he was talking about the effects of social media and Herman.
Oh yeah. That was probably title was similar to that.
I'm trying
But
to remember
I know
what it
exactly
was.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, but
It's like, I think it's called like the social media. It's
I think
like,
it was
social dilemma. That's what it is.
But with that thing, that's where he was saying, like, you know, the way that these companies think, they're thinking about, like, if an app is free, it is free because you are what they make money off of in the app.
Correct.
Yeah. And so it gets to a point where it's like, you know, the scales just get tipped.
Because
like now they're just trying, that's how they make their money. It's so blatant. Like, you know.
Well, think about it. Most free apps, in essence, most free apps is like, yeah, we're free. We're free for you to play.
Yeah.
But if you actually want to gain any speed or level up.
You want some free coins? Watch this ad.
Yes. Watch this ad. Or if you actually want to gain any kind of speed in the game, you got to pay for something. Mm-hmm. You got to pay to do this. You got to pay to do that. You need to pay to get these rubies to speed up your process on this. Because if you don't, the process is going to take a day to finish. What the fuck? Who wants to wait a day? I'm only going to be playing the game for 30 minutes. Spend this $5 then.
Yeah. That's Clash of Clans right there.
You know? So it's like stuff like that. Yeah, you're the one they making money off of.
Yeah.
Because what did I say earlier? You don't get taxed on that loan because debt creates income.
Yeah.
By them giving you that free app, they in debt. It costed them dollars to get that app, make that app, put that app on the market, and get it out to you, plus market the app so they can get it out to you. They are in the hole.
Yeah.
But they ain't getting taxed on it. Mm-hmm. So once they make that money that they spent, once they make that 50 grand back, they just up 50 grand.
Yeah.
They're not taxed because they just broke even. So that $50,000 that they took out is now $50,000 in their pocket. And they're not getting taxed on it.
They don't get taxed on that at all.
Until you make a cent over that, you're not taxed.
Okay.
You are not taxed.
That explains all those mobile apps that are just like ridiculously crammed with ads. Like it's unplayable. Like I don't know if you ever played any of those ones where it's like each round, and then the round will be like 30 seconds, 15.
Yeah,
Another
because the advertiser is paying them for this many ads,
Yeah.
and this ad is going to be 10, 15 seconds. So they're going to run that ad as much as they can because they already got the contract with the advertiser. Every time this ad gets ran, we make this amount of dollars.
Yeah.
So if I got to run this ad on you every minute, I'm going to run it till I make my money back. And then then when you think about that, they got that contract with that advertiser to make that money. They've made their $50,000 back. So that means they just got $50,000 tax-free. One, that's beautiful. Tax-free. But now when they make another $50,000 and it's taxed, who gives a fuck? Because actually, it might not be taxed. Because if they making this money off of an app that's just sitting in the app store that they're not paying anything else on, do you know what that sounds like? It sounds like an ATM. It sounds like I put an ATM in a store and people are paying a fee to use my ATM.
Yeah.
So you know what that means that becomes?
What?
Passive income.
Okay. And that's tax, though?
There is little to no tax on passive income. That's why the billionaires don't get taxed that much, because they're not working for their money. Their money is passive. That's why they're like, tax the billionaires, tax the millionaires. It's because all their money is coming through investments and shit like that. That's passive income. Passive income don't get taxed like that.
Okay.
It's barely taxed at all.
Well, for the folks that don't realize, we just came back from a little break. But yes, I agree with what you just said. I think that because it was something we were talking about, not even just in this little break we just had, but earlier.
Yep, even earlier.
I feel like you put it really well, because I didn't even really have the thought. It was more what you said. I don't know. Would you like to rephrase in such a way the original thing you said about masculinity and like the way that things? Because I don't know how to encapsulate it the way you did.
Well, it was more so how you got two energies, the masculine and the feminine energy, and what was it? We were talking more in the nature versus nurture, or if it was society. There we are. I'm right back on it now. Whether it was society or if it was natural, just nature for us to want to look at the negative that someone does versus the positive. It was based on the example from the teacher in her classroom where she did her multiples of 9, 1 through 10, and she did the first one as 1 times 9 equals 8. And then subsequently 2 times 9, 3 times 9, so on and so forth, and put the correct answer for all of them. But the classroom proceeded to laugh at her specifically, and she asked why, and they was like, because you got the first one wrong. 1 times 9 is 9, not 8. And she said this was a lesson to teach you how society is going to do you. It doesn't matter if you do 100 things right. They're going to find that one thing you did wrong and pick at it and point it out for you. So that the question there is looking at the negative nature or nurture. And we came to the terms of nurture because of the masculine energy. Masculine energy being the logical, the critical, the analytical, the things have to go this way and that way in order to make sense, versus the feminine energy, which is the creative energy, the nonlinear energy, the energy that has curves, that allows for things to not make sense as long as it is, and whatever is cannot not be. And so in that scheme of thinking, being conditioned to the masculine energy from birth type deal, or as you're being able to be taught in your brain being molded to have to color within the lines. You're coloring in the lines for a reason, because going outside of the lines is not logical. It's not linear. That makes no sense. You have to color in the lines. You know, because if you color outside of those lines, then your picture's not right. It doesn't make sense anymore. And also, when you got to color in those lines, they teach you go left, right, or up, down to make sense. You know, you don't color in that square doing little circles. You color in that square like this, or you do it up and down because that's what's right.
Yeah.
Even your circle, they have you shaded like this. Why wouldn't you shade a circle like a circle?
Yeah.
You know, because that's subliminal conditioning to the masculine way of thinking.
You know, are you a fan of David Lynch?
Yes.
What are there, like, have you seen his movies? Like, there's certain movies you like?
Not in particular. As far as like movies themselves, I love the creative production behind them.
Okay, yeah. Because what I really love is the way that he directs. I think that someone like him is in a feminine way. Like, he's doing it in a feminine way. In the sense of what you're describing. He would approach it in a totally, like, his films are so abstract that it allows for such, like, as a viewer, it is up to you. Like, you could watch that movie 20 times, and every single time you can come to a completely different conclusion. And there's a couple different quotes that I love of his, but there's like one thing he said where it's like, when he realized that he wanted to be a filmmaker is one day he was looking at a painting and he thought he saw something move in the painting or something like that. I think the light moved on the painting or something like that. And it made him think, a moving painting. And that's how he thought of movies. And it's like,
that's
when you
dope.
look at a painting, there's nothing there except you and the painting. Like, you're sitting there and you're staring at it and you get to have your own interpretation of it. And I think that's like, if you were a logical thinker, if you were somebody who wasn't really into that kind of interpretive thinking, you're a masculine thinker, you're not going to be into that kind of thing. Because that kind of thing, like, that's totally abstract. That's not even worth your time.
Because what you're going to see is you're going to take it at face value, and that's it. It's like if I took a photo of this chair and, just enhanced lightings and things and changed some colors.
Yep.
Someone who didn't have that feminine side, that creative, that artistic mind going, they're going to look at it and be like, oh, that's a chair in a room.
That is a chair in a room.
Versus someone with the artistic mind, they're going to look at it and look at the different hues, the different colors, the way the chair's positioned. You know what I'm saying? They're going to look at those things and be like, wow, okay, that looks really nice.
And it's also like what you were saying about the kids in the room and how the person with the artistic mind would probably be the person that wouldn't care that the first one was wrong.
Exactly.
They're just admiring the qualities of
they're
the
like,
thing.
Okay, that one was wrong. They got 9 right. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
In the creative
that would
sense,
be the feminine way of thinking.
In the creative sense, they would even look at it and be like, that makes sense.
Yeah. It would be something to think about.
Yeah. It would be like, okay, if 1 times 9 is 8, why now is 2 times 9 18? And now it's going to start breaking down into other things like, okay, so what made this happen?
Yeah.
Not why, not this is wrong or this can't be right or why isn't it right? It would be like, okay, this is right. How do we get there? That would literally would it be. It would be like, how do we get there now?
Well, I like to think of things too like, it's almost like the line of thinking where everything happens for a reason, right? Like, say something happens to you that is negative. It's inherently negative. It's just not good. Like your car breaks down and it's just a bad time.
Right.
Like that experience sucks. But without the frame of mind to where you can look at it and think, okay, well, what do I learn here? Like you're going to hate it. Like you have to have that, like, if it, like, what was it you said? If it is not...
If it is, then it can't not be.
If it is, then it can't not be. And that's the frame of mind you would have to have in a negative situation.
Right. And so in even just going back to just this same scenario with the classroom. So if you think about how the equations are written, it's 1.
Yeah.
Dot. 1 times 9 equals 8. 2. Dot. 2 times 9 equals 18. So the creative person might have been like, okay, 1 times 9 equals 8. Okay, so that was 1 times 9 minus 1. That equals 8. Okay. Or they would have been like, well, 1 times 9 does equal 8. So if 1 times 9 equals 8, then 2 times 9 equals 16. Maybe the teacher just added the other 2 over there and now it's 18. It's so many other ways to reach that same number and she be correct if you think about it through the feminine mindset.
Yeah. Or if you're just trying to break it down rather than just thinking your first thought.
Right. Just thinking that she's just doing straight up multiplication. Because that would be the masculine way. That's your first thought now because you just seen this pattern thing. And now you're like, okay, this is what she's doing.
Yeah.
But that don't have to be what she's doing.
I think that directors like David Lynch, and that's why I bring him up. I think that good art, good films especially, they try to train your brain. You know, like they teach you in a way that, because when you give someone that room to think within art, I think it opens something up in you in a way where you get to see like, oh, like I'm figuring it out for myself.
Yeah.
And I think that like that's why I hate how there's so many shows nowadays are really just like on the nose, very like,
Yeah, this is what is.
Yeah, play by play, you know,
Yep.
like it's just, I know how this is going to go, and it's just not even, it's not thought provoking.
That's why I like DC Legends.
What is that?
It's DC Legends of Tomorrow.
But what is it exactly?
So they fucking time travel and save the world by basically keeping the timelines.
Is it a show?
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
show.
okay.
So they got about 7 seasons or something.
Really?
But nothing is ever super predictable. Mm-hmm. Like, it's always a lot of plots and twists and turns. And so I really, really enjoy watching it because it keeps you, it makes you, it leaves you with a lot of, well, what if? Mm-hmm. Like, at the end of every episode, you like, what if? Or how the fuck does this tie back to?
Yeah.
And they even revisit themselves sometime in the past and have to dodge themselves. But then that brings you back to a whole nother episode where in the background you seen characters scurrying around, but you never knew what was going on because that was just background bullshit. It wasn't the main thing going on. And then they done tied it back around and still left you with what ifs. Because what if they would have turned around and caught them in the past? Then, wait, they in the past. What if they turn around and get caught now? And they do get caught. So then it's like, well, what if they would have caught them the first time when they came back? Would that change? So it gives you that loop of creativity, and it also gives them room to create many, many more seasons, which is genius to me.
I think that television writing is a really interesting thing, especially when done well.
Yes.
Because it's one thing to write a film. Like because when I was younger, I used to just think of shows like it's just a thing that happens. Like they just happen. But when
because it used to be shows that where it was like the episodes didn't coincide with each other. That wasn't the thing.
Yeah.
It was just, this is an episode. This episode is going to be about love and heartbreak between teenagers. But it's this same cast. And then the next episode, this is going to be about a vacation in Miami. This shit don't coincide with nothing. Now we're more in an era where all the shows have storylines.
It's very serialized.
Yep. And even if they don't have a storyline particularly, they still have that series where it's showing growth in the character.
Films have even gotten that way with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and all that. It's all like that now.
So now Marvel is like one big ass, long ass, elongated TV series.
Yeah, for real.
Like, that's literally what it is.
That's how I thought of the Avengers movies. As soon as it became a thing, I've like realized they're just doing what shows do, but like through movies
and doing it even better because they like, well, we're gonna give you this show. For example, Iron Man. Mm-hmm. But this show gonna have 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But in between these episodes, we're gonna start another show called Hulk. This show gonna have 3 episodes. After you get this, we're gonna start another show and call it Captain America.
In between those 3, like intertwined between those 2,
we're gonna start another show and call it Thor. You know, and then what we gonna do is, instead of calling them just shows, we gonna call it a universe.
Oh, and then in between, we'll have moments where all of them come together for mega shows.
Boom. And we gonna have like 5 of those. And we gonna make.
That's our next 10 years.
Straight up. Watch how we do this.
Dude, that boardroom was a party. You already know that. And when they figured that out,
they're like, watch this shit. We just got Disney Plus. We about to drop movie shows on their ass. Watch this. Wanda. It's a movie show every week, bitch. You getting 10 movies. What's next? Falcon! Yeah. Like, and they just running up shows. They said, man, fuck it. We done killed the Avengers. We got the Eternals! New movie, TV show, universe series. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, dude, that was all season 1. That's what's so crazy. Is that we just basically saw season 1. The Eternals is
now season 2.
Yeah, we're on season 2 now. Well, they're getting the new Avengers. From my understanding, new Avengers will contain Spider-Man.
Funny shit. 50 Cent said he got a universe too. It's called Power. He said, I'm making this Power shit like the Marvel Universe. And now we got Power seasons 1 through 5. Power book 2 season 1. Power book 3 season 1. Power book 2 Season 2. He said, I'm making a goddamn universe. He said he making the Marvel universe out of drug dealers.
Is that really what he said?
That's basically what he said. He put it in his book.
That's funny.
Like, dude.
That's kind of what, what's that one real popular HBO show, too? It was about making music. It was really good, and it's about making music.
Why the fuck is... fuck, I cannot think of it.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
I cannot think of this shit.
But damn, they make a couple spin-offs to that show. Boom, you got a Marvel universe of rappers.
No, literally.
For real.
Spin-offs everywhere.
Yeah, and I understand that it's not the most popular thing. I think good spin-offs are great. Like, when you can do it well, it's great. I have heard bad things about the new Sopranos movie, but Better Call Saul is just as good as Breaking Bad, if you ask me.
I do like Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I do like how I watch Vampire and Werewolf shit. So Vampire Diaries had a spin-off for the originals.
Oh, did they?
Which is fucking dope.
It's still good? Just as good? Better?
It might fucking be. Actually, I think the originals is better than Vampire Diaries. And then they even did a spinoff on the originals.
Really?
From the spinoff on Vampire Diaries.
Oh my God.
Which is, now, I'm not going to say it's better than the originals just yet. They still going. But it's called Legacies. And it's at least just as good. For sure. And it's with the main character from the main character from Vampire Diaries is this chick. I forget her name, not important, whatever. But she basically a hoe. Not really important. She fuck all the vampires and shit.
You already know.
Point being, she ended up fucking with this nigga named Klaus. Now I remember him because he was like the first hybrid out here. He done started her own shit. He a werewolf and a vampire. He a beast, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
So then he done fuck around and had sex with a witch werewolf bitch and created a whole nother bitch.
No.
So she a motherfucking tribrid. She a witch, a werewolf, and a motherfucking vampire. So that was they baby.
Only in TV shows do you get these kind of plot lines. That's what I was getting at.
That's they baby in the originals and shit. So at the end of the originals, she's still a kid. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it ends.
Her mama and daddy got killed. That's how it ends.
Oh my God.
So
but
then
you got this baby. It's a cliffhanger.
The baby gets sent with this couple from the Vampire Diaries. See, they bring everything full circle. So then the couple from the Vampire Diaries is the one who end up raising her.
Okay.
In this school for werewolves and witches and pixies and fairies and all kind of supernatural shits.
Yeah.
So that's how the legacy starts. And that's why they call it legacies, because it's her starting as a kid. I'm like, or as a teenager, I should say. I'm like, damn, this shit crazy. Like, it's great. It's great. It's great. I feel like that's how it's gonna be when everything wrap around with this, King Live Vaughn Lambo thing. It's gonna wrap around. They're gonna be like, man, this was really a great cinematic universe. I can go back and listen to the first shit and realize, he was young and he's growing up, and now he done had some bumps in life. Damn, he done had so many bumps. He got to change his name. He's a different person, inside and out. And then it's gonna boom, full circle. They're gonna be like, he's still the same kid, but he got a lot more knowledge now.
Well, it reminds me of what we said before about building a mountain out of what you make. I really think that when done right, people can look back at that whole mountain and they can think those things.
And they can look at it and be like, this is my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
This is mine. That's why you don't want to take away that bottom tier, because that's your young Mount Rushmore. You're gonna have a second one. You have a third one. And you're going to have a final form, as they would say in anime. You're going to have a final form, too.
You're going to go Super Saiyan at some point.
So, but what you need to do is appreciate the peaks of all of them. Because without one of them, that changes something, somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
And that could be for the best, but it could also be for the worst.
Yeah.
You're 50-50 on that. That's just a coin toss.
Well, I think that you cannot have good things without risk. Like,
definitely.
That is where... I mean, it's tough, but that is like, without controversy, without risk, you just do not generate the same reaction that you do.
No, definitely not. And that's part of why, and you gotta do it. You literally have to do it. As they say, chances make champions.
I like that quote. I've never heard that.
The thing is, it's funny. I got a song like that on YouTube. It's King Live.
Shout out King Live. We got Vaughn Lambo here right now.
Crazy. But, and that's a thing. Risks. risk. Because what is another word for a risk? A chance. Risk is just the way to say it in a way that has negative connotation. It has negative energy on it. Oh, this is a risk. Say we go to the casino and I'm like, well, if you put this $5, no, let's be better than that. Let's say it like I mean it. Well, if you put this $100 on 22 black, it's a risk. But you could get $3,500 versus put $100 on 22 black. It's a chance you get $3,500. Even if I say it in the same tone, it's not gonna feel the same. Put it on 22 black. It's a risk you get $3,500. Tell me that don't.
That's so much different.
I'm putting my $100 back in my pocket after that.
It's so much funny because you did say it. It's so funny because you said it in the exact same tone. Like, that's what makes it so good. Is it so much different? Like, it's not the same statement at all. But it is. You're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Or it's like if I was buying a lottery ticket. Hey, you could take the risk of buying a lottery ticket. Hey, you could take the chance of buying a lottery ticket.
Exactly. It's a chance you can win $10. It's a risk you could win $10. Because what really comes to the chance, what really becomes, it don't matter how positive I say risk. Yeah. What you hear is, it's a risk you can lose $10. The word carries the connotation. You don't hear, it's a chance you can win $10.
I was watching this thing on YouTube the other day. I got to finish it. But it was a guy talking about how language influences the things we say. And he was talking about the word Caucasian. And it was real interesting because that was how he kind of started the conversation. And I got to finish the video. But it's an interesting word because generally speaking, when someone uses the word Caucasian, they're using it in a certain context or like a political context. It's a weird word to use.
Yeah, it's like saying Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah. Like, I'm just going to say white. Like, you're not going to say Caucasian. Right. And I think he said there was a certain difference, like it distinguishes between a certain like type of white person. I think what he was saying, the origins of the word.
Right.
But it still kind of carries this weird thing. But I feel like it's the same type of thing with everything. Like the words you use carry a certain connotation.
But it also derives from the word caucus.
Yeah. But the way that we use words, you know what I mean? Like, it's like how politicians use words.
It's like
they're not going to say certain things. They're going to speak around
I don't know if you've noticed, but this is a thing where you don't see people saying good morning as much.
Yeah.
They will find many other terms to use other than good morning. You may wonder why.
I do.
I do too.
That's strange.
I know my own personal reason.
Why don't you say good morning?
Well, because I know words have power. Thus being a rapper and songwriter and singer. I know that words have power. Words and the connotation and the context we use them in have power too. But the words themselves do have power. It's called spelling for a reason. Spell. So when you speak, you can cast a spell. So it's based on the spelling. So think about this. Good morning. What's good about that? Don't think about when I'm saying it to you in the morning or something. Think about the words themselves. Think about what they mean. Good morning.
Well, morning is not a good word.
Okay. So what the fuck is good about morning?
That's bad. That's bad. So you think that's what it is then? You think it's the connotation of morning?
I'm telling you, hey, good death. Good. I'm happy you dead. I'm happy some death is going on. I'm saying good death to you. I'm basically saying, hey, I'm glad that you're mourning a death.
Yeah.
Good morning. It's a happy day to be mourning a death. I'm basically saying I'm happy with the death that's going on around us. I'm not. Why would I say that?
Yeah, when you put it that way.
I mean, I particularly just say top of the day.
Ooh, Kendrick made top of the morning pretty good. He made that a good one.
Hey, top of the morning, top of the morning,
but
top of the morning.
I mean, the morning's still there, dude.
Exactly.
It's still there.
I stick with just top of the day.
Yeah.
It is what it is, It's a simple thing because unless I have a greeting that is going to greet you with something good, I don't need to say good morning.
Yeah.
I can say good day.
Good day's a good one.
It should be a good day.
I feel like Good Day sounds better.
And Good Day fits at any point until it's night. Then you say good night. Like, it's pretty simple. Like, there's nothing good about morning. Who coined that shit?
Even like the morning is just a sluggish, like it's not the best time of the day for sure.
I could even say good evening. I mean, evening. You're on the eve of something.
Was Jim Carrey, did he say good evening, good afternoon, and good night? He didn't say good morning.
He never said good morning.
Man.
He never said good morning.
That's a great, that's
Because
a fair point.
That's a lie.
Good evening,
There's no good
afternoon,
morning.
and good night.
It would be a lie if he said that.
Yeah. Wow.
Liar, liar.
Liar, liar.
See? Like, it's those things, and that's what, and honestly, I think about that when I'm in my music, because you got to think about the shit you say.
Well, I try to, that's why this is something I harp on a lot. I find myself always getting back to this point, but it's really because that's how I look at it. Like when I'm writing things, I take that kind of Lynchian approach. I always, every single song I write, and I think it's increasingly like this, like it's just evolved upon itself. I never truly want to tell you exactly, like it's so much about the listener and like even for me, I want to look back at my verses and think like, damn, what did I even say right there? Like, it's just so, like, I'm dancing around everything that I'm saying in such a way where it's so interpretive that it's almost like poetry.
See, so I love that you saying it like that, because it's funny, because, like, the way that I write now, again, is completely different from King Olive. King Olive wrote in a specific linear type of way.
Yeah, like this is this.
That's not how when I write now, I write conceptually versus, let's say, topically, or like how a lot of rappers or artists will, like, they'll be like, okay, I can't write to this if it ain't got no hook, because what the song about? What you mean what the song about? I told you what it was about. I don't have to have a hook. But like that, I understand what they mean when they say that though. But for example, like, I say I want to do a collaboration with someone, and I'd be like, well, this is the general topic, or the topic of the song. This is what we're speaking on. And I send them the beat. I shouldn't have to have a hook for you to write a verse, because I'm not asking you to write linear. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I mean, if it was a hook in there, and I said, okay, the topic of the song is club life, bottle popping, and like doing upper echelon things such as renting luxury cars to go out for the night, and buying Ace of Spades for the night, and things like that. It was a luxurious night. But the hook is, we in the VIP, she shaking ass, bottle popping, da-da-da-da, something like that. And then the only thing you write about is somebody shaking ass and we drinking bottles. That's not the concept of the song. The concept of the song is a luxurious night.
I think that is an interesting thing about like collaboration too, is when you have a certain vision for a song, you do kind of want to, like, you hope that either you touch, because for me especially, because like I said, I'm so not on the nose. Like, I can write a whole hook and you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. Like, it could mean a couple different things.
But like with that hook just sets the tone. Like, all that did was set the tone for this is
exactly.
This is like the feel of it.
Good example, because it's like how good pop music is. Good example is a great song. One of my favorite songs I've written is called Dreams. And the hook is so simple. It's like, close my eyes and I go to sleep. Nah, I don't hear repeat. Or I don't hear repeat. Nah, in my dreams I see. In my dreams I see. It's basically like, there's another part of it. It's not coming to my brain right away, but that's the song. Right. Real simple. Like, I'm not saying much, but that could mean a bunch of different things. Like, I feel like I don't even want to even fully say what it is. I can say a couple things that it might mean. Like, in my dreams I see, like, when you're dreaming and you have dreams.
Right.
But also just, like, the whole song kind of has this feeling of, like, hope in the face of something like greater than you.
And that literally goes back to the wording.
Yeah.
Because, and also, the way it's being said.
Yeah.
But in my dreams, I see something about that.
It's such a simple phrase.
Something about that is like saying, you know, when I'm dreaming, I'm seeing better. I'm seeing forward. I'm seeing something that I could possibly use in my waking life.
Yeah.
You know, to move forward.
And what I love about it is it does
like
all
I
that.
see through the bullshit.
It does all that in 5 words. In my dreams, I see.
That's literally it. And also, it's to me specifically, it's like I see through the bullshit. Because how many people don't have a dream about the day you just had, but in your dream, certain things went differently.
Or another beautiful way to interpret it is that with all that bullshit that you deal with, if you just invest in your dream, you see the truth. You know, in my dreams, I see. And that is even a deeper meaning to...
Because now you got to get back to you, because like we talked about earlier, about like when you're a kid and your dreams are just so big, but by the time you literally make it out of high school, hopefully college, but you so beat up by life at this point. You've got so many take. You can't. You should be. You could be. You a shoulda, coulda, woulda. All these other things that life done beat you down. Now at this point, your dreams is not that big no more. Like I said, nobody dreamed of working at McDonald's at 30. Nobody dreamed of living in an apartment at 30. Nobody dreamed of having 2 kids and still trying to have to figure it out at 40. Nobody dreamed of being a baby mama at 18. You know, these aren't the dreams that we had as kids. But life started beating our ass because it wasn't enough feminine energy around to be creative and not tell us that one thing we did wrong was the worst thing ever, and now we got to try to figure out the best way to do it again. Those other 9 things mattered. They mattered a lot, but nobody told you that. And so now, by the time you get to the age where you can really make an impact for yourself, you feeling like you at step 1 and trying to start all over again.
Comparison is the thief of joy. I also do think that, like, it's similar to the thing, too, you'll hear a lot of famous people say, where they'll say, like, oh, you know, I always thought my problems would get solved when I got, like, recognition. Yeah. And that never happened.
No.
Like, I think that it's always this way, where you'll always feel this adversity towards you, even if you have people telling you, like, you're doing great.
It's that deeper thing. It's that deeper thing where you gotta appreciate yourself, but how the fuck do you do that when the only thing you've ever known is non-appreciation? And even when you're looking at people around you, you can see they don't particularly appreciate yourself. They're themselves. You're not stupid. You can see they covering this and that with these things, whether it be material, whether it be with spending money or this big house or this car. You can tell they not happy. They not like happy with themselves. They might have this nice ass life and shit, but they're not happy with themselves. And you can see through that front. That's not the hardest thing to see through, but it's hard to get through.
I think that, I mean, it's hard to get through. That's a great way to put it, because I think that it's hard to... I think a lot of that can come from, you know, when you're not feeling well internally, whether it be physically or mentally, it automatically creates this outlook where you don't view things positively. Oh, yeah. I think that, you know, it's no surprise that there's a lot of unhealthy people in America and a lot of negative people in America.
Easy.
Like, I don't even think that's, like, cuckoo to say. Like, I truly believe that, like, when everybody's not feeling well, they're not going to look at things in a positive way.
Yeah.
So I think even, like, the day-to-day life plays so much into the way that you're going to, like, dude, the things you eat make you feel different.
Definitely.
Like, everything matters.
And then if you compound that with the collective consciousness around you, if everybody's feeling that way, it's just a mass of that, and now everybody's feeling it even more.
Yeah, yeah. It's like if there were 9 other people in a room and you're one person in a room and everybody's acting crazy, you're gonna feel crazy. Like, it don't matter if you're the normal person.
You're gonna be like,
feel
what
crazy.
the fuck is going on? And
am I the crazy one?
Am I tripping? These motherfuckers get along just well, but ain't nobody playing with me. What? And you're gonna be like, that's it's nuts.
It is,
but it's a collective thing, because it's like,
yeah.
But then that becomes the question there. Like, are you afraid? Are you afraid to be the crazy one?
Well, I also think it's a good question about like how individual are you truly, and how much are you a product of your surroundings? You know,
Both.
Like what does it make? Like how do you really truly break out of that mold and become something that is not, you know, just a reflection of everything around you? How do you individualize yourself? Because I think that's what art allows me to do. Like, you know, I'm able to speak in my own way, and in a way that I can't in any other way.
I got an answer for that question, actually. I think that probably the best way to actually, you know, like individualize yourself in a sense and not be the product of everything around you is to choose to be a product of your experiences. Because there's no one person on this planet who has the exact same experience as you. Not a one. I don't care if you're a twin. They don't have the same exact experience as you. There's going to be many of things that were different. Because again, even if you're a twin, y'all was born at different times. First difference right there. No one has the same exact experience. That is the way to individualize yourself. Because people could have had the same circumstances. They could have grew up in the same, they could have literally been born next to you, grew up in the house next to you, went to school with you, went to the same college as you. Parents both did crack and wasn't around. Y'all got the whole same experience. Y'all have the whole same environment. You could have the same exact environment to someone as a T, hence jail. That is an exact environment that people experience that is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So to not be a product or to not let that environment shape you, you have to be shaped by your experiences. That's the only way out, to be an individual.
Wow. That's a great answer, dude. Because that is completely right. I completely agree with you. I mean, I think that that is what makes a lot of the people that you'll see, especially great artists throughout history, I think they often will have a trouble within them, that conflict within them.
Yes.
And they allow their experiences to guide them in that sense.
Yes, and what I think, especially because we've been talking about paintings and all of that, but what I think is, especially when you go back and look at the great painters, they let their experience out onto the canvas, which for us would be letting it out onto the microphone, on the track, however you want to form that. But that would be the way for us to individualize ourselves as artists, is to, when you're creating, lay it out through your experience. You don't have to lay it out for someone to like you. Lay it out through your experience, because your experience can have details from your environment, but your environment will never have details from your experience. Never. So if you can put the experience there, you'll relate to someone who got the same environment. You don't have to try and do it.
Yeah. And you know what I think too is, I think that we often find nowadays that things will be generalized. Like,
yes.
I think you're really taking a topic and just cutting it down so much whenever you generalize groups of people in such a way, because I think it's like what you said, everyone's experience is so truly, like we share certain things.
Yes.
And those things should be cherished, but at the same time, when it comes to everybody as a collective, not one of us is the exact same.
Not one.
And in that there is some kind of like, that's
beauty.
A good thing. That's beautiful.
It's a beauty in that.
Because then you know that, like, for one, you are truly you. No one else can take away what you are.
That's the reason the word unique exists. It's you.
Yeah.
It ain't called we-neek. It's called unique.
There's a reason those don't sound very good.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's literally you. And nobody can be you but you. Nobody's going to have your experiences. Can't nobody experience shit for you. It don't matter what you're doing.
And there's the fact that there are some things you just don't know. One thing I love about like I can't remember where I first heard it, but it's just a great way to approach conversation in general. Always imagine that you don't know what the other person can tell you. Like, there's always something in that person, no matter who it is. You could hate them, but they still know something you don't know.
This is why in my life, Not that I can recall. Hopefully somebody ain't watching this who can call me out on this, because I don't think it's true. But
hey, this is not on the record. It's only on the record.
In my life, I do not think that I've ever told an artist, nah, I ain't gonna work with you because you ain't popping, you ain't popular, or anything like that. I may have told you I won't work with you for other reasons. Let that be known. But I ain't never told nobody I won't work with them, like, because they wasn't popular or nothing, or because, you know, say, I ain't gonna work with you because, shit, you only got 10 listens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Or you only got 100 streams. I've never told an artist I wouldn't work with them because of that. Why? And I don't care if you was the newest artist. My belief, my strong core belief, no matter what nobody say, is that every artist out here, no matter whether they started yesterday, whether they started a couple hours ago, whether they starting right now, whether they've been in the game forever and ain't famous yet, they got one fan, you don't. At least one. I guarantee. I don't care if it's their fucking mama. They got one fan, you don't. And actually, probably, most artists who you do a feature with, as long as you don't suck, they mama probably your fan too, because they a fan of their son or their daughter or whoever doing music, and they said, oh, you did a song with them? Oh, okay, I fuck with them too then.
Well, okay, and carry this forward from our whole individualism thing back into the collaboration thing, because I truly believe that while we are so strong as individuals, that butterfly effect right there, that little thing, that is so powerful. Like, that's one thing that people just do not, like, anybody who's successful knows you gotta know other people.
Dude, it's not what you know, it's always who you know.
Yeah.
Come on now.
But it plays out in such a way. Like, oh, his mom heard your song.
Right.
His mom likes it so much, she's playing it to her friends.
And now her friends got a nephew who got a cousin who know JoJo over there in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And JoJo, he a rapper too. He ain't the most popping rapper, but he got a lot of money. So JoJo now want to do some music with you, and he gonna spend his money.
Yeah.
Because he want to rap with you, and now you and JoJo rapping. Now y'all a duo. Now y'all got a deal.
I mean, hey, look at podcasts. I think that's a big part of why they're popping off. I mean, it creates such connections, right?
Yeah.
Where you'll see, oh God, Steve-O did a connection with my favorite rapper.
Right.
Oh, Steve-O did a podcast with my favorite rapper. That's awesome. Steve-O hooked up with my favorite rapper. What in the world? Like, it's like he did one with it was Violent J from ICP. That was a trip. Seeing Steve-O talk to Violent J from ICP. Something you just like don't really think about, but then you see it on YouTube and you're like, that is interesting.
Right. It's like, man.
But it's the connections, right? Because what if you're an ICP fan, you're kind of okay with Steve-O. You might get into Steve-O's YouTube channel from that. What if you're into Steve-O, but you heard ICP back in the day? You might be like, oh shit, they're still around? And then you watch that video. Even
piggybacking on the same concept of collaboration. People who like chicken wings to be exact, wingdings, buffalo wings, hot wings to be specific.
Delicious. You're making me hungry just saying those words.
So, most people know about the YouTube channel, which now actually is on, I believe it's like, what is it called? True TV now. But the hot wings is literally, the show is literally called
You're talking about
Hot Wings.
The Sean Evans show, Hot Ones.
Yeah.
I love Hot Ones.
And he just, people who like hot chicken wings, he just collaborates. You can be a rapper, you can be an actress, you can be a bum off the street, whoever you want to be. You want to eat some hot chicken and talk. He's collaborating. And that's how he started it. And people who don't like wings watching this. Why? Because he's collaborating with people that they actually like. And they just talking regular life. Asking them regular questions. Oh, have some chicken. You know? So it's like those collaborations cross-genre artistically mean a lot. Because even people who haven't or might be on the bubble as artists or on the creative side of things, doesn't have to be artists in particular, but within the arts. So they're on the bubble, but they'll go on Hot Ones, and all of a sudden, because you like chicken and you like watching Hot Ones and you like laughing, now you know who this person is, but you're like, well, I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
Let's look them up. Because who is this? So you looking him up in the middle of the show.
That show is really a stroke of brilliance, isn't it? Like, everything about it. Yeah.
And it's like, if it's an artist, for example, my grandma, she like the hippest thing in the world when it comes to music and whatnot, because she'd be like, "Oh, but you Vaughn Lambo." So she actually calls me Vaughn Lambo. She does not call me by my government name. My grandmother calls me Vaughn Lambo.
Man, I wish my grandma called me Ruse.
She straight calls me Vaughn Lambo.
That's good.
And so she like, well, I gotta be up on it. So she hip on everything. I'm surprised she ain't got a TikTok yet. She got everything else. I'm like, boy. But
she better start. I'll follow her. Tell me when she does, I'll follow her.
She know everything, you know what I'm saying? She know everything as far as like the hip artists and things like that. But she watched Hot Ones one day and she ain't know who Tory Lanez was. So we watching Hot Ones and he on Tory Lanez on it. She said, oh hell no. Hell no. That look like Sway. Sway on TV. Now she knew it wasn't Sway, but she was just making a joke, and it was so funny because I'm like, you don't even know, everybody be calling Sway this man all the time, and I'm just cracking
an inside joke
up.
already.
And I'm just cracking up, and she over there dying. She like, he really look like him. I'm like, this is funny. And then she like, so what kind of music he make? Let me look him up. And she looks him up. She's like, oh, he makes some pretty good music.
And the Tory Lanez got a fan right there.
You know what I'm saying? She don't listen to all the raunchy shit, but she listens to the slower Tory Lanez. She listened to some of the other shit, you know what I'm saying?
But that's how that happens.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's just them cross collaborations.
Ain't that beautiful? I really think that's something that's like poetic in itself.
Yeah.
Like, because that is something I've discovered along the way. And I never would have I always thought, like, it's all up to me. I got to get this done through my sheer focus and willpower. I will get it done. And then I just started doing the interviews, and everything changed.
Man.
It really just opened up. Like, it's like a flower. It blossomed. Because it's like you make all these connections.
Yes, and that's...
The most gratifying thing is when I had heard things like people, like, kind of like what you just said. Somebody didn't know this person until they saw my video or I did an interview for him.
Yeah,
now they're familiar
you
with this
actually
rapper.
put me on to a few artists in the city who I had no clue about.
That feels great to hear, my friend.
I ain't gonna speak on that because I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah,
but
for real.
You definitely put me on to a few artists, and
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm like, shit, I done seen this motherfucker before. It had been in public. I didn't know who it was. Like, I might even shook folk hand, spoke and everything, but I didn't know who it was. Like, I knew who they were maybe because I've seen them a few times, or maybe I knew them outside of music as well, and never knew they made music. But that might be something they didn't share with me at the time. But I was like, damn, that's dope. I think that was pretty cool because it's like you said, it opens up things because then at that point that now opens up streams, that opens up social media connections, because now I'm going to add you when you post things. I'm going to share them because I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if I listen to the song or not. If you post it, I see it, and we friends, I'm going to share it for the most part, long as I see it. Blame Facebook, blame TikTok, blame Instagram. Do not blame me. If I see it, I share it. On everything. And if you can check my page, it has a variety of shares. If I see it, I share it. Because what the fuck? That cost me 2 seconds to do. You know what I'm saying? And if I fuck with you, I'll probably listen to it anyway, or watch your video, or anything or laughed at your video. Especially if y'all be making funny videos. I ain't gonna lie, I'll probably be laughing at them more than once. I'll share them, but you know what I'm saying? I'll be laughing at them joints. And if you make good music, I'll probably share it, you know what I'm saying? But then I go play it too, you know what I'm saying? Because it's good music. Why be a fucking hater, bro? Like, if you make good music, your shit probably in a playlist of mine. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy to do. And when you talk in algorithms and things like that, when it comes to artists, sharing, bro, a like is the lowest value thing in the fucking world. If you're gonna like my shit, if you're gonna take time to like my shit, share it.
Let me tell you, even the kids got it figured out on that TikTok. There are 8-year-olds that don't even push, because the thing is on TikTok, you ain't gotta fully share. You just push share and then push copy link. And there are literally like 8-year-olds that know this, and they just they like a video, they push share, copy link just to show their support. Like, because that's
it
for the algorithm.
Yes, and that's it, bro. because the share does it. The share is the most valuable
you
part.
told me before, I believe, that
Yep.
is it in order? Like share, comment, like, it's something like that.
Yes.
But I'm sure the share is the biggest.
Yes, share is the biggest. Share is the biggest for sure. It's definitely share first, then comments, then likes. But if you do
probably follow, then like's probably the last.
If you do a reaction other than like, that's worth more than a like. So
watch time is also a factor.
Yeah, particularly for Facebook, like say if you have a 15-second video. For Facebook, you need to watch like 5 seconds, 6, 7 seconds, like a little bit of time. But for like a minute video, anything a minute and over, you need like at least like 30 seconds.
Okay.
30 seconds, I believe if it's over a minute, then it's 35 to 40 or some shit like that. Similar to Spotify's thing. The Spotify algorithm, you need to do about 37 seconds of a song. So usually you just tell people 40, but 40 seconds of a song counts as a play.
40 seconds?
Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah,
that's longer than I would think.
Yeah, about 40 seconds for about 35 to 40 seconds that to account for a full play.
What if the song's like 30 seconds as an interlude? Don't count?
Yeah, the song 30 seconds as an interlude, you play that whole thing.
You better.
Shit.
Don't you skip that last second, motherfucker.
Shit. God damn, I probably got some algorithm for that, but in the scheme of things, it's like a general song that's like 2.5 to 5 minutes or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You pay 35 to 40 seconds and it's considered a play.
It's interesting how it is so different in each place, too, when it comes to that watch time stuff.
Yep.
It's like what you're saying, YouTube really is, the ads changed it, but it used to be a long form thing, and you actually, what's interesting about YouTube is it used to be short, then it became long, because watch time became a big thing. That's really what the weird part is YouTube now is the only real place to go. I mean, the big place to go for long-form video streaming. There's a couple alternatives, but, that's really the place to go.
Yeah.
TikTok ain't going to give you a 40-minute video about the history of, it's ancient Chinese swords. You can't find that on TikTok.
You're not even getting a full music video on TikTok. So, if those things, you're going to motherfucking YouTube for.
Yeah.
Music videos, YouTube is king of that shit.
It's just funny because nowhere else is that. Everywhere else just gets shorter and shorter. TikTok is literally the shortest. And it's also interesting because of the I feel like the algorithms are changed in a way where it's so much easier to pop off now than it was before off of something random.
Yeah, for TikTok.
It was for TikTok. And it's I think that's.
But I like the fact that TikTok keeping the loose algorithm.
Yeah.
TikTok, I think you should continue that. If you want to be top dog and beat out Metaverse, for sure.
TikTok, listen to me right now.
Because also Metaverse is, they got IGTV because they're trying to start competing with YouTube. That's going to be going further and further. So TikTok, if you want to keep winning this game, keep them algorithms loose. Matter of fact, loosen them up specifically for an account called Vaughn Lambo.
If you do that, guys, you're set.
Hey, I got you for life. I'm true to my word.
TikTok is the GOAT. TikTok's the GOAT right now. I was a denier for a minute. I was
but
like, I'm not
look what TikTok did.
I know. It's crazy.
It made Facebook make Instagram have reels so that you can share your reels on Facebook.
And the funniest
Instagram.
part is still it's nowhere near as good as TikTok.
Did you see Twitter?
In terms of quality, as a what do you call it? A consumer.
Yeah.
I do not find reels
TikTok
anywhere near as satisfying.
Yeah, well, that's why people share their but then people sharing their TikToks in the reel.
I know.
So, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the TikTok in the reel.
They've been stealing TikToks and just
post it in the reel.
Yeah, I mean.
It was and then Twitter was like, well, we're gonna do fleets then, and that makes stories like y'all.
Oh, you're right.
And then they deleted the hell out of that shit. They said, we got spaces now. You want to start conversations and talk.
Well, that's actually based on, what was that one talking thing that was popping off from? No. It was something else. It was only on Apple, and that's what drove me nuts. They didn't have an Android version, and it was you could join in a chat room, and there was...
No, that is Discord. That was
No.
That wasn't Discord.
I'm sure it was something else.
No, what the fuck was that called? I know what
you're talking about. You know what I'm talking about? It was popping. It was on Facebook. So many people posted about it.
It wasn't Discord. It was
famous people were even on it, there's a lot of business people.
What is it called? I cannot think of this shit for nothing. It was joining the chat room.
This is when we have that third person with the phone with the Google.
I'm Samsung, baby.
You can Google it right now.
I'm a
if you want.
Samsung person.
I'm trying to think of
just
what.
so y'all know, I'm a Samsung guy. I don't play around with them Apple Dapples. You know what I'm saying? Apple Dapples. That was the Kroger brand cereal. For
Apple
Jacks.
Dapples.
Apple Dapples, baby.
That sounds off-brand.
That's how you know I came from the struggles. I used to eat them Apple Dapples.
Apple Dapples every morning. It's so funny when they sound off-brand. That's the best part.
Apple app.
Let me think. I want to remember it because, like, that'd be even cooler if I can remember it last second.
Yep, that would be.
It is not Telegram. It's not that one thing.
Telegram.
This is the radio. What radio would call this is dead air. This is nothing. We're talking about nothing. I'm trying to think of what it is, man. It was on the Apple phones only. You can't find it? What are you Googling right now?
I'm Googling all kind of shit.
Well, not the right thing, apparently.
Clearly.
I saw you scrolling.
Look, I'm like, this shit ain't it.
Let me think.
That ain't it.
It is, just Google Apple Chat Room app. Apple Chat Room app.
Good idea. It's a good idea.
That should be it right there, man. This is embarrassing for us.
That shit said iPhone app chat room.
This is the one thing you don't do on radio.
Damn. Fuck it all up.
This is why I always say I need a Jamie. Like, I don't know if you've been seeing me over here pushing these buttons while we talk. I gotta be on my point. I gotta know what's going on.
This is fucking crazy.
I need a third man. I think Jay Stats, shout out Jay Stats. I remember your offer. He did say he would chill for the podcast. I need to hit him up one of these days.
Man, Google said, fuck iPhone.
Fuck iPhone.
They like, fuck this nigga. I ain't telling you nothing about that shit. They said, you want a chat room app, go get Discord.
Well,
that's literally what they telling me, basically. They said, Discord, nigga, go get Discord. Fuck this. Fuck what you talk about. Get Discord. You ain't got no iPhone in your hand. Get Discord. This is literally what Google's telling me. It said you don't have an iPhone. So why are you asking us this?
He has no faith. It's not even going to try.
Google just like,
man, thanks, phone.
He said, no, just go buy a Pixel. What? Kind of shit is this, Google? Oh, then they said you want to go to some anonymous chat rooms? Nah, Google, I'm out of here.
That's not what we're looking for.
I don't want to be on Tinder. We already talked about this. Come on.
Okay, but anyway, point being, that came from that thing. It was like a rooms app.
Yeah, it's probably Treehouse or some shit.
Yeah, that was it. Dude, man, it was Treehouse or something, wasn't it?
If that's it, I'm funny as hell.
I swear to God, dude.
If that's it, I'm funny as shit. Matter of fact, now I gotta look this shit.
Man.
Nah, get the fuck out of here.
You said it so casually. You just threw it off the side. Like, I feel like you knew the whole time.
Oh, hell no.
That is probably
this can't be it.
I can't believe that. Clubhouse. It was Clubhouse. Yeah.
There it is.
Man.
There it is.
Clubhouse. Can't believe you got it so close last second. It's like when you look for something and you find it the moment you stop looking.
And as soon as I typed in Clubhouse, I said Clubhouse iPhone app.
There you go. But that was it.
That's fucking hilarious.
You know what's funny is it was not. I think it already died off pretty.
Yeah, it died off
user
fast
base
as
is way.
shit.
But that was a good idea.
Because then they was like, because it's basically like Discord. They was like,
yeah,
Discord
but Discord with people that you're like a fan of. And because some people just don't use PC with Discord, or even on the phone, they just ain't into that. It's something like it's why you got to be on all social medias, is what a marketer would tell you, because some people just ain't gonna use one thing,
right?
But like Discord is a really niche thing, like and that, but that's where you're gonna get those real dedicated fans. They want to talk.
That's very true. They want to talk.
Yeah. Like
they want to know.
And that's that butterfly effect thing I was talking about too, in a way. Like when you have created content, what you exist to be in someone else's brain is probably elevated far beyond what you would value yourself as.
Right.
And so whatever your response is probably so much different to them than what it is to you. Like they are like, it's so cool.
You can think it's the most simple thing.
Yeah, you're subscribed to a guy on YouTube, you watch his videos. Oh shit, he has a Discord, and then all of a sudden he's doing a phone chat on his Discord with like 5 other people and you guys are all just talking to him. That is so cool to interact with them in that way.
Yeah.
To have that chance, whereas a lot of other things just don't offer that.
And it's a lot different. It's a lot different when you're just like, again, on YouTube, it'll be a lot different when it's like, oh, you make a comment, yo, this was dope, bro, and then he's like, yo, thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Or, it's different when now you're in this Discord chat.
Yeah.
And it's like a back and forth.
And I say the butterfly effect because I think that back and forth would, like I said, it's valuable to the other person in such a way that's incomprehensible to you.
Right.
You don't even know.
You don't understand.
Yeah, and what happens when, like, maybe 10 years later, you're in a completely different position. Like, maybe you're like, you popped off, you're super famous. This person still remembers that conversation they had with you back then when you inspired them. Like, things like that
Small
are real
things,
cool.
And let alone, don't let them happen to want to be in whatever field you're in.
Yeah.
And they get the chance to be able to be like, you know what, I have the opportunity to work with this person.
Yeah. Or
then
even
it's like,
even that conversation that they had with you on that
and you
Discord
probably
creates
won't
a
even,
relationship.
and you won't even be like, oh shit, I remember the fuck out. No.
Yeah.
Because for you, it was more connections, more building. But for them, it was something much more special than that because they're looking at you through a different scope, through a different lens.
Yeah, that's why I put it in that way where it's like the value is like
you don't
they
know
might
what that value
you in
is.
A way that you don't know.
You have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
It would be the same as if you were like, yo, I'm giving out free CDs and somebody you have no clue who they are and they're like, all right, got the CD, here go a 20 though.
Yeah.
Like that's you don't understand the value behind that. One, you don't know how much it took for them to make that 20. What if the motherfuckers only make $6 an hour?
Yeah.
They just gave you 3+ hours of their life. That's literally what that means. I just gave you 3+ hours of my life for something you giving me for free. Mm-hmm. I value this. There's a innate value that they see in that, and that also should let you know. I mean, because one, for the most part, people ain't just. I mean, people are good inherently, in my belief, but people, when you say you're giving them something for free, especially if it's like music or something or art piece or something, most people not offering you money for it. Because, fuck it. It's free. Thanks. I'll listen to it. I'll look at it. Maybe I'll pass it along to someone else. Maybe I'll let it catch dust. But for someone to give you some money, that's different because now they're expressly buying it, and it's they're putting value to it. You know what I'm saying? And for example, if I gave you a camera and you didn't spend no money on it, you're going to, not that you're going to take care of it less, but you're going to value it less than a camera you had to go out and make $300 for and buy yourself. Because innately you had to do something to get this. You had to give. You know what I'm saying? This should come out of your pocket.
Yeah, like you literally, you feel that you earned it.
Right.
Like you know what it took to get that.
Small and very, very basic example. You was a kid, your mom would be like, what you want to eat? You literally name whatever the fuck you want to eat. You wouldn't think about no price.
Yeah.
Versus now, if your friend be like, hey, you want something to eat? You kind of think and you be like, yeah, okay, well, but you don't try to go ahead and max out their money because you want to get the best shit on the menu. You be like, I get this, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate them offering, versus when you was a kid, you ain't think about that shit. You like, let me get the lobster. Lobster? Bitch, you 7. Yeah, shut the fuck up, eat some chicken nuggets. It's that appreciation for something that's being worked for, something that's, you know what I'm saying, that you didn't have to place innate value on.
Yeah.
That's why when you be like, hey, I'll pay for you, and then they be like, oh yeah, let me get the double cheeseburger, large fry, let me get a side, let me get a shake and some dessert. And you be like, bitch, nigga, all I got was a burger and a small fry. I ain't even get a drink. What the, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's because they ain't got to pay for it. There's no value to it because it's not coming out of my pocket. It's not something that's coming from me. So the appreciation is less.
Interesting. I do think that it's also something that, like, when kids are growing up, it's so easy to mess that up. Like, that's one thing you have to instill in a kid.
Yeah.
Is like you have to earn certain things. Like, and that's why you'll see that problem, I think, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's like people just didn't get that lesson early enough.
Nah.
Like, hey, you don't just get these things.
Yes.
Like,
And then all
man,
of a
even
sudden
just
they
like
heard
never
a no.
washing dishes would be like, man, that could cripple you. Like, you get to adulthood and you're just staring at dishes.
And
like,
they ain't got no
what?
dishwasher?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, man, no, my granny ain't play that shit. She said, you gonna wash dishes, and we got a dishwasher.
Yep.
Oh, but on the holidays, I take care of the dishes. You know what she did on the holidays?
What'd she do on the
Threw
holidays?
the bitches in the dishwasher.
No.
She said, I got the dishes. I'm gonna throw them in the dishwasher.
Oh, but
Said,
you're like,
holidays we ain't have
you
to
know
wash
the
dishes.
rule is skewed against you. You already know.
Like, the rule is don't use the dishwasher except on holidays.
Yeah.
But on holidays, we don't gotta wash dishes. She gonna do the dishes.
And on holidays, we get to use the dishwasher. Apparently.
But it just means you.
And as a kid, it's BS. But as an adult, you can kind of see, like, okay, that does instill a sense of, like okay, I have to get this done. Yeah.
In order for other things to be allowed.
Yeah.
So, like, I get it, but, like, dang, couldn't we just have to put the stuff in the dishwasher? Like, maybe we got to rub it before we put it in the dishwasher because the dishwasher ain't super heavy duty or something. You just scrub, put that one in the dishwasher. Nah. Scrub, wash, rinse. Dryer rack. And don't leave nothing in the dryer rack either. Damn it. So I either got to dry these bitches or I got to come back down later. Okay.
She's saying you can't even, like, everything got to be put away.
Away.
Oh, my God.
And dry.
Now that.
Not put away and wet. And dry.
Man, I'm feeling your pain right now.
I said, that's why when I got my dishwasher in my place, I said, I ain't washing a goddamn dish.
And I bet the reward of that was
I ain't
just
washing a motherfucking thing.
That's invaluable. But getting that dishwasher and staring at it and going, yeah.
And just to make sure I don't wash it, I'd be like, oh, we out of dish detergent? Cool. We ain't out of pods, baby. Bucket. Put them pods in there. I'm not hand washing shit. I had to cook dinner 30 minutes late tonight. Gotta run the dishwasher. I ain't washing nothing by hand. Hell no. Man,
You earned that.
You gotta enjoy the little things.
This is the moral of the story, is you earned that. That did not come free.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
And now I appreciate it.
Exactly.
I wouldn't appreciate it as much if you would have just let me use it. I hate it still, but I appreciate it.
It's so funny. Because now you like stare at dishes, you're like, fuck you, dishes.
Yeah, I ain't gotta wash shit. Nothing.
My friend, I literally went to his house yesterday and he just got his first dishwasher. And when this was a topic of conversation, we were like looking at his and when he told me that, I was like, dude, this must be monumental for you. Like,
Oh, that's it.
he had been hand washing his whole life.
That's it.
This is a common thing for kids.
Goodbye.
Oh, and that was you know what I hated about, and I still hate it because I'll still I'm that kind of guy where I'll still wash most of the food off the dishes before I put them in the dishwasher.
Hey, I'm there though.
So
look,
I don't want that build up. I don't
Also,
want all that.
I've been a dishwasher.
Uh-huh.
So
that's
what most
procedure.
people don't realize is that your dishwasher has a filter that you kind of should clean every now and again.
Yep.
So if you're not rinsing that food off, eventually you got to start running your shit through the dishwasher more than once, and you still not gonna clean your nasty ass filter that's gonna need to be cleaned, and your dishwasher's gonna break. Unless you live in a place that replaces those and not your own home, you fucked.
These are facts. These are facts.
Learn that at Applebee's.
And you know what? It's funny because I did find this out from a social media post. I did see a social media post that's like saying like, oh, did you know there was a thing in your dishwasher?
What?
Yeah, I didn't know. No one ever told me. So,
Oh, shit.
but the thing is, I always wash my dishes off beforehand, just out of common sense, like logical thinking like, okay,
Yeah, like
if I
even-
clean this off, where's all the food gonna go if I don't clean it off? Like,
Right.
that's just what I was thinking.
Exactly.
So-
Even before we had a garbage disposal in the house, I'd be like, my mom would be like, hey, dump your plate. Anything you don't eat, dump your plate off
Yeah.
in the trash and then rinse off your plate.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, whatever, protocol.
But
But now that I'm old, I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I got a garbage disposal. Fuck that. Scoop. Garbage disposal. Rinse. Drop it on in. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Like, Duh.
But I can see through my ignorance now. It was an illuminating social media post because it was funny because it was saying like I couldn't believe that people didn't know this, and that was really what the post was. And I was like, oh shit, I did not know that at all. So that was pretty.
Because and even in the dishwasher commercials, they be like, well, fuck it, you don't gotta rinse nothing. Toss that plate in there.
Yeah.
Where the hell do y'all think this food is going, people?
You guys are lying to me.
People, where do you think this food is going? It's just, you think that shit just disappeared?
Right.
Where the fuck did it go? It gotta go somewhere, bro.
But, point being, going back to what I was saying, what I always hated about washing dishes is I would get all the water. Maybe I'm just messy. I would get water all over my shirt. All over. It's still kind of hard for me. But like, if I use that hose, it's curtains, dude. It's all over my shirt.
See, that's like Applebee's. Nope. Once you do that hose thing, it's over. It's water everywhere. I'm like,
and it's sad because I love getting I don't particularly like washing dishes, but when you see them clean, it's like, oh yeah, I did that. Like you just see the soap working, and you're like, hey. But man,
to the grease.
Yeah, like it's almost like cathartic. It's like cleaning your bedroom. It's like cool, dude. It looks better. I live here. Man, it's my brain playing out right here. Like you know what I mean? Like if you have a dirty room, it's obvious it's all cluttered in your brain. But you have a clean room,
exactly.
you must be got your shit figured out.
Hey.
You got some clean dishes. Oh, life's cleaning itself out, baby. It feels good.
Sounded just like Danny Tanner. I'm feeling that.
Yeah, but man, I get that water on my shirt, motherfucker. Oh, it gives me a bad time. Now I'm like, well, should I change my shirt? Should I fucking just go through the next few hours like this? Now we have a dilemma. But hey, the dishwashers solve most of this.
Winning.
Because you ain't fucking scrubbing like that.
No,
you don't gotta go in. You can just do a little preliminary wash.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And if you run some hot water, make the job easier.
Oh, dude. Well, you know what? I had someone tell me once, you can wash, this is a real interesting topic of conversation, dishwashing right here. Ruse and Vaughn Lambo on dishwashing.
Oh, shit.
But I had someone tell me once, you could wash things with cold water.
Fuck no.
Yeah. I was like, you're lying to me.
Fuck no.
You ever take a shower before? Or you ever, I don't know.
First of all, do you wash your hands in cold water?
Yeah.
Any of you nasty motherfuckers, why would you say yeah? Oh, no. The instructions is warm water. Warm water.
I have a science experiment for you.
To kill the germs.
You got food on a plate? You put that plate on some water, cold water. Now you watch that food not come off that plate. You warm that water up and slowly watch as the water just washes it off the plate.
Killing the germs.
Yes, that's how hot water works. But I've had people tell me, cold water is it'll clean just as good as hot water. I was thinking like when they told me, I guess maybe they're right. But just the more and more I think about the fact that person said that makes me think, no, like that is a terrible tip.
All I'm saying is, do dishwashers got a cold water setting?
Do they?
No.
Are you sure?
Positive.
None of them.
100%.
I feel like I might have seen that.
None.
No?
No. But they do have a heated dry setting, a hot steam rinse setting.
Yeah.
They don't even rinse with cold water. What the fuck?
Now, don't get me wrong. I think if you took a shower in cold water, you could still get clean. But I don't think it's
But that's because you're scrubbing yourself so profusely.
Yeah. I truly think that hot, I don't even know, somebody who's smarter than me that knows the science of it, really, I wish I could have this explained.
Yes, please.
I wonder how hot washes better than cold. Think about it. They're the same thing. They're just water, but one is way hotter than the other.
Think about this. When you got bad water, it be cold. When you boil it.
Woo, that's a good one.
Yeah.
You do boil bad water.
And then you let it cool back down so it's good.
Yeah.
Hot water is the good shit.
What even is that?
It's the heat that destroys the bacteria.
Yeah, that's probably it.
And that's why.
Like you were saying with washing your hands.
You want the warmer water.
That is really something though, ain't it?
Science in this bitch.
That is some science.
We scientific artists.
Man, look at us. See, this is how I just want everybody to know that me and Vaughn Lambo are not just musicians, okay? And if there's anything this conversation has proven, it's that we were also philosophers.
Very much.
We are probably the most philosophical rappers of Flint. I will coin that right now. Ruse X Vaughn Lambo. I will say too, I do think there's one song.
Those were not gang signs. I don't have gang signs.
But it just felt right, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it felt good in the
just
moment.
felt proper.
I felt like Russell Westbrook, when he was crip walking, bringing the ball up the floor. He's not a crip. He just, he felt it in the moment.
Crip walking. Crip
You know what I'm
walking.
saying? I was just doing something
understand?
like that. I wasn't being that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you just have to embody the energy.
Those
that
were
you're feeling.
emojis. You see what I'm saying? Look, emojis, bro. Just turning them different ways. Emojis.
Sometimes things don't need an explanation. You just feel some type of way. You know?
Rich homie Quan said it best. Made me feel some type of way.
Ooh.
No, you feel some type of way.
See, can you guys tell we're philosophers? Can you tell? We're really intelligent people.
Man. See, we paralleled it back to the rap with the philosophy. Come on, it's rap philosophy.
You guys don't even know what's happening here. We're playing fourth dimensional chess.
You are now in session.
Yeah.
You just entered the metaverse.
Yeah, you did. Mark Zuckerberg ain't got shit on us.
Ain't got shit on this. No. Matter of fact, Mark, call me. Give me a ring. You know how to find my number. You got Facebook.
Yeah. Listen, Mark, you hit me up on Facebook. We'll make something happen.
Definitely. Look, if anybody can get your people on to the metaverse, look. I know you do. I know you like Joe Biden right now. I'm sorry to say.
It's all right. I mean, he's got his, he's Zuck.
You need a Kamala Harris. Kamala, the hair is. I got you. That's the only offer you getting, Big Zuck.
Now, come on, how can you turn that down, Zuck? The way he put that, come on.
You might need to figure it out.
Ooh.
Come on now. Hey, you was alive in the 90s. You know about that show.
Yeah. Listen. This is only an offer, Mr. Zuckerberg, okay? You don't have to say yes, but just know you're missing out if you say no.
Right. I mean, you're really going to be missing out on a metaphysical opportunity to make yourself larger.
Larger in what sense?
In the metaphysical energy sense, of course.
Yeah, baby. Obviously.
We got to harness the power of the collective. And I'm trying to bring some collective energy to your verse. I'm a rapper. I can write verses.
Now, I think that this is a beautiful way to close out a podcast. A message to Mark Zuckerberg.
I agree.
Mark, listen to me.
Listen good and listen well. Listen with intent.
I understand that, you're a smart guy.
Very, very intelligent. I agree.
You've done a lot for, social media, the realm
Yes.
of the metaverse.
The realm itself. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
But listen, I don't think you fully understand how tapped in Vaughn Lambo is here.
I don't think you understand. See, as you talk meta, we can also talk Metatron, the cube, that is. We can talk fruit of life, tree of life. We can talk how those masculine and feminine energies also intertwine, and how we will use that and also find a way to harness that in order to bring a better quality of life to the metaverse, as we use the metaverse and the physical universe in order to generate a wealthier economical and socio-economical verse between the two.
See, I almost feel like, who's that guy that runs the Twitter? He seems like he'd be a nice guy for us to talk to as well.
I agree.
What's his freaking name, though? It's not coming to my brain.
What is his name? See, Mark, this is more opportunity for you.
Yeah, Mark, let's get ahead of this
just
guy.
Jump on this.
Yeah. Twitter guy ain't got shit on us, Mark.
But if you're not feeling it, we got Elon, we got Jeff.
Yeah, okay, listen, we got backups. So you better tap in now, because this is your one chance. Okay? Listen, Mark Zuckerberg, I appreciate you and all, and I like what you can bring to the table, but we have other options.
Definitely, and they're already into the blockchains, so.
Yeah, and that's the real thing.
Twitter guy is already on the NFTs, so.
That's why I brought him up. He's like he's deep in, dude. He's he's got his chips on the table.
If you're ready, you know where to find us on Facebook.
Yeah, you know what? And you know my name, Mark. Come on, let's not even joke around. You don't even have to. It would take you probably 2 seconds to figure my name out. I'm not even gonna say it. Not because I'm me, but because you're you.
Exactly. See, and that's where we get back to the basis. Whatever is cannot not be, and you are here, so you can't not be.
And And with that, folks, thank you so much for being here.
Man,
thank you, Vaughn Lambo,
This was
for
great.
being here.
I tell you that. This was great.
Shoot. I just bonked my coffee cup. I do want to say, I feel like, because to wrap things up into a bow like I usually try to,
Boom, boom.
I do truly believe that we had a nice, deep, philosophical talk here. And, with all jokes aside, I think that there are some things we tapped on. It really did make me think about things in a different light. Like, I think that whole masculine, feminine thing we were talking about, that really does give me a nice sense of perspective, even when it comes to looking at how I look at things.
Right.
And how I am critical of things I often should not be critical of. Like, I'll find myself poking at things when really I should just be appreciating them as they are.
I agree wholly. That's it, and it's unlearning and relearning, but I personally feel like it's very helpful because it helps me take a step back.
Yeah.
Just in the mental sense where, sometimes people in general just get down on themselves because especially with social media now, you look at someone else's life who may be around your age, around your same environment, but, had your same environment upbringing, but you look at them and what you see on social media is something that's much more than what you feel like you have or things like that. And you feel like it just makes you feel like you're behind.
Comparison is the killer of joy.
Yeah. And so you feel like you're behind because we're constantly in social media. So being able to discern that masculine and feminine energy and discern that social media from the physical realm is like, it's a key to step back and be like, well, shit. Let me actually look at what I'm not appreciating. Why don't I appreciate this? Why? And that's the thing I like to have to take a step back for myself, because sometimes I have to be like, shit, you just rode past a homeless person.
And you know
going
what?
back to a home.
That's that same internal thing that I think happens with art even. Like, you must internalize these thought processes that you have and think, why did I have that thought process? That is mine. Like, that's not anybody else's. Mm-hmm. I am the one who created
that whole thing.
Yeah, like, it's mind-boggling to me sometimes when I'll be anxious or I'll be having strong feelings in some type of way. And if I really can just get myself out of it for a second, it's like, whoa, dude, this is literally all in here.
Yeah.
All in my head. Like, if the person right next to me wouldn't even know if I didn't tell them.
Right.
Like, I might be thinking, like, all these thoughts, like, oh, dude, I'm so stupid. Like, whatever. Yeah. However you're feeling. But it's all right there in your head. And if you just think for a second, oh, wait a minute, dude. Like, this is, like you said, deprogramming.
Yeah,
like,
and
this
that's
is not even...
It's the wildest thing, because everybody at this point, wasn't always the case, but everybody now is usually like, dude, you just be going about stuff like, whatever, like, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, well, in the scheme of things, for me...
Yeah.
It doesn't. Why put all this pressure on myself? It doesn't matter, because one, it doesn't exist yet.
Uh-huh.
So it isn't. It is not what is.
Yeah. Or the idea of the present and the future,
right,
as a concept rather than a real thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because
those aren't real. It really is just what is.
And I think that's why death brings people back to the moment so fast. It's like, shit can get taken away at any time.
Yeah,
stay in the moment.
Yeah,
because in those moments you can do nice things. You can be 5-10 minutes late to something. Yeah, that's great. But what about the being late and rushing? You feel shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Being late and actually enjoying the couple moments in between, you get there, whatever there is, maybe it's work, maybe it was an event, whatever. But when you get there, you don't feel bad about it.
Mm-hmm.
You feel good. You feel like, well, I took my time. And then especially if you've experienced death from people rushing or trying to get somewhere, you're like, I didn't go down that path. I'm good. Or it might have just been an accident. It wasn't even death. You might have been an accident rushing sometime. And now you're like, shit, I'm late. But I didn't rush and I didn't get in an accident. I didn't fuck my car up. I didn't almost lose my life. Different things like that. You learn to just appreciate the little moments in being late. Because sometimes being late saved you from something.
Well, yeah. Wow. Wow, that's an interesting perspective. There are countries where being late is not frowned upon, where it's like regular to have somebody be an hour or two late. I forget where it's at. I think it's Brazil, actually. I'm pretty sure it's like a common thing there to just have everybody be late all the time. And I feel like that is so much more laid back and like you're describing.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like nobody should be in a rush because it's just a miracle we're even here. And in
Literally.
and in that sense, I also thought of the quote, happiness is reality without expectation. You know, I think that a lot of that is born from the expectation, I must arrive at this time.
At this time, at this point, I need to be at this point in my life, at this time in my life, because if I'm not, then I failed.
Yeah.
Or I'm failing and I need to figure out
But as we
another
were
way.
saying, that expectation is internal. It really is so, and it's hard to deprogram
Right.
and take that step back.
And the expectation may have been something that, again, was programmed to you.
Almost.
Typically,
I feel
it
like
is.
it's never not.
Right.
There's no way it's not. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, you are a product of your surroundings in that sense. Like, you must have goals based upon something.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, like something just put you in that direction.
Yes.
But
Yep, definitely.
I think that internal, it's like we were saying, being in the moment. It's what meditating is. It's what life is. It's maturity, learning to allow yourself to just roll with those punches.
Yeah.
And those punches are actually what life is itself. Like
Literally.
that is the game.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
that's the game, and
Yep.
you gotta play it.
Yep.
And the best thing to do is play the best hand you can play.
And whether that is feminine or masculine, it's not even really the point of it all. The point of it all is to move in a way where you are not operating under like stress, you know? I
Yeah.
feel like when you're hard on yourself, when you overanalyze things so much, you don't allow it to be as it is. It doesn't matter how you frame it. It's just bad for you in
Yep.
general. Like no
And that's
matter what it
that's
is,
literally, it's the key thing, because
stress
again,
kills you. Stress kills.
what is can't not be. So that means you cannot change that. So if you can't change it, why stress on it? Allow it to be what it is. Allow it to run its course, whatever that course is. And if you can get out the way of the course because you don't like that, then do it. Otherwise, it's going to be what it is until it's not. You can't undo that.
And you cannot will what is not into existence.
Facts.
You just can't do it. You can tell yourself you can. But in reality, I think that it is much more closer to an everything happens for a reason than everything happens because so-and-so did something.
Yes, because all things that have been and never will be already are. And it's only on you to bring them to fruition, whatever those things are. But again, what is, and it can't not be. And so what's not isn't, and it won't be. So it doesn't matter if this thing you're trying to do isn't meant for you, it's never coming. But it's on you to realize that, and it's on you to actually refocus and take a step back, take a step inward, and see what is for you. Because that's going to be the thing that's coming. And it's going to come faster when you realize that's for you.
I really like this conversation we've had today, Vaughn Lambo.
I think it's been really, 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 really good.
It's been moving. It hurts to cut it off. I feel like I feel like we've talked for like 2 hours, but I could keep going.
Man.
It's just I know in my heart of hearts we need to have a sequel. That's the honest way to keep this moving. The sequel
I'm
to the
good
Vaughn
with that.
Lambo podcast. I'm sure you'll come back into the Ruse Stu.
We are so good with that. Great to be here, you know.
I also would love our only song together. There's only one. Only one. It's on Constellations Volume 1.
It is only
folks.
one so far.
And you can hear that so far. That's what I was getting to. We got to get you back in this Ruse Stu.
Definitely.
I got to hop in maybe whatever stew you got propped up.
Hey.
We'll see
get
how it
done.
goes. Let's get something out
You
of there.
know.
Because Vaughn Lambo, as you can see through this conversation, you and I feel like we have a similar way of allowing
Man.
our thoughts to just go out into the ether and just pick up whatever we can pick up.
Yeah.
You know, we're explorers of ideas, you
Definitely.
and I. And I love that about you,
That's
my
the
friend.
best way.
I think that it's very nice to have some, some people are much more concerned about how they present themselves rather than just having fun.
Right.
Just seeing what you can even find out from a conversation. And I think the way one carries themselves says it all. I think you and I are similar in that sense, that
I
we
agree.
both are exploring for
Definitely.
ideas. We're not caught up in, how do I look? How am I feeling right now?
No.
No, it's all about, man, what is to be gained in
What
this
else?
moment?
What's new?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's not about preconceived notions. No. It's about exploring. Because the thing is, it's all about exploring truths and figuring out what they are to us.
Yeah. That is life.
That's it.
Yeah, and there's no true answer, I believe. That is the fun part, is I think the pursuit never ends. I think the acceptance of that is where true happiness lies.
Because the crazy thing is, as I've been told by a great mind, it's somewhere in the middle. And getting to the middle is pretty difficult when you're a human and you're on ends and ends of things.
Yeah.
Got spectrums.
And all of us are on the end of some kind of spectrum. It's never, if you're the guy that's in the middle of everything, you're probably super boring.
And you're probably lying.
You're probably lying. Let me see your bedroom, bro. Let me go through something. Let me see that old journal of yours. I'll find something.
Let me see your web history.
Yeah, there's dirt on everybody. I heard a quote once too. People who say, I got nothing to hide, those are the people who have everything to hide. I believe that quote. If you were telling me you got nothing to hide, like, you could go through my messages.
It's the same as the people who be like, I put it all on the table. What the hell you lying for? What you got in your back pocket?
Give me your cell phone right now. Can I go through your text messages? That's all you say to that person. They'll say no every time. No one's going to say yes to that.
Yeah, you can go through my text. I got a burner phone. What? That's what you was hiding in your back pocket, huh? See, told you ain't put it all on the table.
And Vaughn Lambo, before we go, you got any things you want to say to people where they can things they can look forward to, where they can find you? Basically, the Hot Ones ending. You know?
Definitely. Well, how about this? Hot Ones. Look, y'all can find everything on all streaming services. Go ahead and dance to this. That is out now. Been out for just about a month now. Enjoyed that. We've done some pretty decent numbers. Go ahead and get that out to 20K so we can go ahead and prep up another release, get a lyric video going, get some visuals for you guys. Look forward to Who Was King O Live. That'll be coming in the winter. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. You got a couple snippets here if you want to go back and revisit those. Other than that, just go ahead and follow me on all social medias at Vaughn Lambo for all updates and anything concerning Vaughn Lambo. And in case you want to catch some other insights and randomness from my story, like how I bust my head the other day. Hey, follow me. I really did. You see the scar.
I do. I didn't ask. Now I know.
Yeah, I was in the loft. I bent down to tie my shoe. I picked my head up and hit it on the table.
That's not a satisfying way to get a scar.
Yeah, not
That's
at
one
all.
of those like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
you know what I did?
just bleeding.
I was running because I had my dog outside, and I ran real fast, and I stubbed my toe on some weights I had on the floor. My toe turned like blue that night, and I'm pretty sure I broke it. And I just never went, because you go to the doctor, they're not gonna do much with a broken toe. So I still kind of feel awkward with my toe. Like, it still feels a little funny if I bend it the right way. But that was I hope that makes you feel a little better, because that was probably the stupidest way I could have stubbed my toe. I just sprinted into a weight full speed.
And this is how we ended. Tragic stories, doing simple things.
Folks, even the smartest philosophers of the world be hurting themselves some days.
Hey.
We are not, just because we are so smart does not mean that we are not clumsy, okay?
I'm a human.
I'm a human too.
Mostly.
Yeah. And Mark, hit us up, okay? You heard all that stuff he was talking about, metaphysical, gibble gabble, what? I don't even know. It's so complicated it flies over my head. Mark, maybe you get it, okay? Explain it to me, Mark. Hit me up sometime. You know me, I'm on Facebook.
Boom.
See you guys soon. I love each and every one of you. If you stuck throughout this whole podcast, you are a real one. You deserve to be the top of the coop troop with all the roosters. We love you. My chickens, my roosters. Those are my fan base. That's my thing.
Fucking dope.
Yeah. I created that on the TikTok Live, and it never dies. Thank you guys so much for being here. Ruse Radio, clocking out.